Hey, everybody, welcome on back. It's You Got to Try This podcast, and it's featuring myself, Large. It's Ian behind the ones and twos doing everything, basically, for us. And our special guest who's going to be around for the whole episode today. So you guys have to be sick of me saying, oh, I got my friend on here, one of my favorite people at Barstool. I say it all the time. Francis, one of my favorite people at Barstool, Francis, and he certainly is. Francis is one of my favorite people. Chico Technico is one of my favorite people in Barstool. Honestly, he is. I think Clem's my favorite person at Barstool. So when I talk about Clem, I don't say one of. I think I say my favorite person at Barstool. Let me think for a sec. Who do I like more than you? I don't think there's anybody, honestly. So this is Clem. When I first started, Clem was already here. And we did Podfathers together for years. He did Podfathers since its inception, and it had a bunch of people who fell off. Kevin stopped when the stuff with his wife came out. Chaps had fits and starts where he left and came back. I came on as part-time thing. It was the not part-time, as a fill-in, I think, for Kevin. And it was the parenting podcast here at Barstool, and it was awesome. I love talking to these guys every week about parenting and our kids, because we're each in different situations with ages. So, when they were complaining about getting up to do midnight feedings, I was complaining about my son banging my car into something else in the driveway and stuff. So anyway, Clem, for people who don't know, his specialties are he's a Knicks guy, he's a Mets guy, he's a Giants guy, he's a sci-fi guy, he's a food guy, he's a parent. He's a very good trivia guy. He's on the Dozen, one of my least favorite things I do here. I stink at it. Dozen with Eddie and Dave. So he's all over the place. And on top of it all, we have a three-headed Hydra as editors here at Barstool. Clem is one of the co-editors, right?
I have those guys at the top. I just help out. Yeah. Because I never want to be known as an editor-in-chief here. Right. That puts the target on your back.
That does.
Well, it's like president, vice president, speaker of the house is the third in line. I'd rather just be the speaker of the house and not have the
smart. Yeah. And so without further ado, it's Clem Quan. It's my good friend Clem. How are you doing, brother?
Doing great. Large, when you were setting me up for that very nice intro, I was like, I thought I was going to get least favorite person at Barstool, which is how I know I'm your favorite person, because you probably said least favorite enough times for me to believe that you only say who the people you don't like when we're having our private calls back.
Yes, you know what? There is so much stuff. So I do NASCAR here too. I do this thing called Rubbing His Racing.
Where's Spider on the list of favorites?
Spider is way down, and you want to know why? You're looking at the logo for Rubbing His Racing. Unbeknownst to me, designed that logo, me, and then the final, I just wasn't around. So the person from, I think it was Youngstown Bob. Remember Youngstown Bob? Yeah. So he went in to say, how do you guys want it on the bottom? And asked Spider, because I was unavailable, with Spider and Large. Put his fucking name first. I'm the whole shit. Fuck Spider. Fuck, you would never do that to me, Clem.
I would never would. Yeah. I honestly think it should go one syllable, two syllable, Large and Spider.
I think
Spider
so, right?
And Large.
Yeah. So when we were on a race truck last year, we ran one of Kyle Busch Racing's trucks, drove by Jack Wood, ran a Rubbing His Racing scheme. The whole car was Rubbing His Racing, and I had Final Say on that, so I switched it. So the whole car, like it says, with Large and Spider, and I didn't reveal it to Spider till we got to the track, and that was absolutely delicious.
And you can't see it right now, but on the You Got to Try This logo, right behind those Pepsis, it just says Large.
Yes, with Large.
True.
No Ian.
No Ian.
I asked you.
And I said no.
And he said no. And I say this all the time. I am the worst. There's two guys in this room. That's it, alongside me. And they both know how technically unsound I am. Mm-hmm. You do know. We set the clocks forward. Wait, what did we do? We set the clocks back? We went forward. We sprung ahead, fall back. And I went downstairs in the morning and I changed my oven and I changed my microwave and I woke up Annie. Look what I did. I was so fucking proud of myself. But then I go and I send this asshole a Dropbox of some voiceover and stuff. And honestly, it's like an infant. It sold it. And it's my road to hope, but it is what it is. But Clem, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And if you're wondering, if this guy's such a close, Willie, when he was here, I liked him better than you.
That's fair. Yep.
And it wasn't even close. I love fucking Willie Cologne, but I like you more than Stew Leonard.
I knew I was never climbing like Matt Willie.
Willie's the guy.
Your rankings.
So if I like Clem so much, how come he hasn't been on yet? We've scheduled to do this, I believe, 4 times, and either my schedule or Clem's schedule, life got in the way. So we haven't been able. Really, I think we were supposed to do this like 4 times. Is that correct?
Well, because you travel all the time,
I do.
And I refuse to travel. I'm also in like a weird spot where I'm just far enough away where to get in. I have to get the kids off from school, get here to the city, and then get home to get them off the bus because my wife is working, so she can't get them off the bus. And then it's like, all right, this one day opened up where like she's off or whatever, and you're like, I'm flying to Talladega.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I thought that we were going to have a better chance of recording this together in Chicago. Like if you had to do something out there, I thought it was going to be one of those things where we'd have a better chance doing it. I'd like to go out, well, obviously if we're ever out in Chicago at the same time, I'd like to hang out with you. I'd actually like to go to Chicago with Ian and just like do the whole thing there with the people that you're, producing and all that stuff with. Because sometimes it just, and don't get me wrong, whoever helps out whenever we go to Chicago, it's a different person every time. It's wonderful. Don't you think there'll be some continuity? I'm going to almost hit you with my boot like 6 or 7 times during this.
You've become a lot more flexible since I saw you last.
Like this one, I can throw this behind my head if you'd like. You know what I mean?
Would like.
It all depends on what you do with it once I get there.
Now, if we went to Chicago, who's someone in Chicago that we all like to hang with? Who's an example of someone?
I don't know.
There it is.
I think if I'm in Chicago, I love those guys. I told them, I went on their show the other day and I said, I don't know why who I like is important to anyone but myself, but I constantly tell people where they are on their thing.
Like, 17th, 23rd.
Yeah, exactly. I tolerate it. I don't like it.
But the Barstool Eddie voice, I did try to get you to do like every other Podfathers by the end.
Yeah. So when I got there, I sat down at it and I said, Chief, Dave, and Eddie. I was like, just so you know, you guys are my favorite. These other posers who just came over here, they aren't it. And Eddie's like, you know what, Larch? That means a lot because sometimes you get forgotten because all these guys come in and they're like, big personalities and it came in like a bull in a chest. And I just love the fact that exists. And then I just want to talk. I think the next time I do something with Eddie, I'm going to do the whole podcast as Eddie and he's going to do the whole podcast as Biz. He does a great biz. That'd be kind of cool, right? Awesome. We went to a hockey game at 8 or something like that. I think it'd be good. I'm going to start with the fact that you're very involved with the raising of your children. Your wife, I'm not going to mention names or anything like that. I don't know how close you keep it to the chest, but I love your wife. You know how much I love your wife. Mm-hmm. And she's full-time for all intents and purposes. She doesn't have the flexibility that you do. So I think sometimes a lot of the responsibility of cooking and stuff for the kids, particularly during the day, maybe not at night. Are you the big cook in the family, Clem?
No, I'm the meme. I don't know if you've seen it. Your algorithm probably is in this where it's like, Dad cooks once a year or like once every 6 months and it's just the greatest thing ever. I try to just kill them with like a good sauce.
Right.
And that's basically it. I, contribute here and there.
Right.
But my wife, she is the dinner cooker. I'm breakfast because I'm getting them out.
Yeah.
Lunch is probably more so her, but it's 50-50, I'd say. But dinner, she kind of takes the reins. I will be the one to find the good spot or the good deal on the takeout, or this place has 40% off tonight. Let's give this a shot on the apps or something like that. But I try to stick to my lanes. However, my kids are doing a new thing now where they tell me, I used to be a burger guy. My kids now say, Mommy makes better burgers. And she goes, don't you put that on me. Because she knew I had burger night. I had the sauces. I have a couple of things that are my lane. I'm the grill guy. Yeah. Anything grilled is me. And she's now like, I now have to assume burgers because she made burgers once that she'll tell you were not as good as mine. But for the kids' taste buds, they like it more. Because, I grill them. Oh, you burn them. I'm like, no, I'm grilling them on the grill. Mom put them on a frying pan inside and it's a little bit different of a taste.
We just had a guy named Matt Grork on, and he's the meat teacher. It was on last episode. Handsome dude, took the train up after he was done with his classes, and he did something. He had millions of followers and whatnot. And his deal too is he's very good on the grill. If you're willing to take a backseat to, my wife makes better burgers for the kids and stuff like that, I'm trying to see if everyone agrees with me. If I'm in the kitchen and someone's a better cook than me, I don't mind them coming over and saying, hey, this is how I would do it. But I don't want anyone touching my fucking grill except for me. Is that macho? I don't have a lot of macho-ness left. Is that a macho thing, or do you subscribe to that?
No, I see where you're coming from. And honestly, I probably, if they're that good, if it's the meat teacher, I might let the meat teacher on the grill.
Yeah, right? The cowboy. We had this cowboy guy on. I couldn't stand at the grill because I've never done a chin-up. Like, I don't feel like a man around a lot of these guys. Professionals are different. But if my brother Terrence came over and said, hey, let me get in there and show you how to do a porterhouse, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house.
He's going to go on my grill. Then he's going to cut my grass with my lawnmower. Then he's going to take my wife from the bed. Like, where is the line, Terrence? Where's the line, Tate?
Yeah. I'm going to tuck your kids in. By the way, Terrence has never offered to do my fucking grill. Speaking of grills, though, one of the things that I would like to do with you, with Ian, I think with a table of 10, I did a beefsteak dinner this week. Before I get into it, this seems like as good a time to tell anybody. The reason that this show exists or is doing well, it seems from all reports that the show is doing pretty well, is because people take the time to like our stuff, to subscribe to us wherever you get podcasts, subscribe to us on YouTube, 5 stars, interact with us and follow us on social. And I never knew the importance of that with other pieces of content that I did. Like when we were shooting Podfathers, it was sort of like, all right, content's done. Let's just walk away with it. I'm more intimate with the social media that we're doing here because Ian is constantly, hey, retweet this and do all that kind of stuff.
People with brains are in charge of this.
Yeah. It means the world to me and it means the world to us and it keeps it going. Because if you don't do it, then Dave will be like, stop doing this. Stop handing in all these bills, you know what I mean? All these $35 sandwiches and stuff. And then an added bonus too is, because I'm going to talk about the beefsteak in great length, is if you leave a question, we'll try to get to a question every episode. Ian, you have a question this episode?
Yes, this one's from Mike Miggins. Shout out to Mike Miggins.
We've heard from Mike before.
Yes, he's left a review on Apple Podcasts. He's left a comment on Spotify, YouTube. So he's out of lanes. He's taken to the DMs.
He's my burner. Yeah, he's
Mike M. Yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But here we go. Question 3. Wondering what you call this. You're taking a slice of Entenmann's coffee cake and some pieces fall off. Grabbing a slice of sausage and pepperoni pizza and some toppings stay behind in the box. Crumbs, shrapnel, debris. There are many names. My Irish dad grew up in the Bronx during the Depression, so we were taught first that it was a sin to waste these pieces.
Same.
But he got us all using the word daggins, Daggins,
right,
to describe this material. Is that a Bronx or New York thing or an Irish thing? Maybe it's regional. Does it depend on the donor food item? What do you call it?
So that's a loaded question. Daggins is a curse word. Like Daggins has always been a curse word.
This sounds like it could be a slur, which I was like large as eyes.
So my dad. I was born in the Bronx. We moved out when I was 2, and so I was raised in Brooklyn. When my dad came over from Ireland, he lived in the Bronx. Met my mom in Brooklyn. We lived in the Bronx at first. Then we moved to South Brooklyn, and that's where I was raised. And so Daggins for us was always something to do with like, and to this guy's point, leftover shit. So if you left like a streak in the toilet, that was kind of a Daggins. You ever have like, if you brought the dog in and it had a clumped up piece of shit on its fur, that's a fucking Daggins. And I think I don't know if by the way, my son is calling me from Costa Rica. I don't know if there's, let me see what other people would say.
By the way, I brought this up to Lars before. He's like, oh yeah, good question. And then I say it on the show and he's like, did you just say a slur?
Yeah.
What a setup.
No.
He's setting you up.
What
That's
a setup
does.
that was.
So if you go to the Urban Dictionary, to leave quickly, usually after a drug deal or casual sex. Damn, that pussy was bomb. You dagging out now or later? Or the act of practicing hardcore lesbian acts. She wears her pants sagging and she lived with a chick. It's quite obviously she's the daggin. So I love the fact that this exists. And I love the fact that his mom and dad say this. Mike Miggins is becoming my spirit animal.
I'm seeing it refers to dried, matted clumps of, to your point, dung and wool on the hindquarters of a sheep.
Oh yeah, so shit on fur. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So there you go. So that's that. So we didn't call it that, but I can understand why we call that because it's kind of like leftover debris, which I know is what they call it down in New Orleans at Domalisa's. I think they call the jus with the extra pieces of roast beef in it. They call it debris. Oh, please hit me up with that.
And sorry, I found this question kind of timely because last episode you referred to pizza crust as pizza bones.
Pizza bones. That's my wife. My wife refers to them as pizza bones. And then, so a similar family to Mike Miggins, whenever we would have that last piece of Entenmann's, like he's saying, and by the way, we very rarely had the last piece of Entenmann's. No one ever left one piece. We used to call them dead soldiers. Like, I don't know why, but they'd be like, oh, there's some dead soldiers in there. So anything, if I open up a pizza box and to his point, like little nubs of pepperoni and sausage and stuff like that were dead soldiers. And so he'd go in and take the dead soldiers. Daggins makes sense in one. And I don't mind if he wants to bring Daggins back into like a decent light. But to your point, it's a dried shit on the end of a sheep's ass.
So what would you call it though? Like, are we going to get in the Daggins movement here? Do we want to go with debris? Because this stuff, when you have that piece of cheese, you have that crumb cake, you have those bag fries.
Yes.
That might be the tastiest stuff you eat in the entire package because it's just something, it feels free. It feels like you're getting something
dead soldier
extra.
Does it either, right?
I don't think it does.
Because a dead soldier almost has... Dead soldiers were also what my parents called if somebody left a juice box out and had a half a juice box in it.
Oh,
those are dead soldiers
half
too.
A beer.
Half a beer. That's a dead soldier.
It could almost be like a used condom could be a dead soldier.
Coney Island Whitefish. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's the whole deal. So to your point and to Mike's question, by the end of this episode, I'd like to come up with a better term that I would like to use all the time. And right now, I'll put Daggins up one and I'll maybe try to get that thing going. Because if you go to any type of fast food, a burger joint or whatever, and you all of a sudden start divvying it up, and that last thing before you throw the bag out, you give it that shake and like an onion ring rolls out, that doesn't deserve to be called a dead soldier because that thing is beautiful. I don't think it deserves to be called a dirty sheep's asshole either, though. So I don't know what we're going to have to call that, right? It's a pleasant surprise. It's a delightful, I don't know.
Treat, a gimme.
I don't know. You know what, Mike? We're going to have to think about that and get back to you. I'll use Daggins until then, but I'll say, it's not a Daggins for me because we've been doing so much talk about food and doing so much eating. What's been consistently almost like a non-Daggins for me, it's Pepsi. Whenever I go, and I was so lucky that I went down to Chris's Red Hots in Verona, New Jersey, which is kind of Frank's stomping grounds. If you'd like to join me with one, you're more than welcome.
You're going down to Frank's neck of the woods and eating
for a hot
food.
dog. No, Frank, the only thing Frank wants to do, not the only thing, but Frank insists that when I go to Hobby's Deli in Newark, or Nork, as people from New Jersey call it, I'm going to go with them. We're actually said it's a date. Like we're going to go on a little date where I take him for a pastrami, corned beef and tongue sandwich at Hobby's Deli in Newark. But I was down in Chris's Red Hots and I saw that he had Pepsi there. And I'm telling you, my face lit up because I had so many different flavors. Ian, I started with this hot dog had mashed potatoes mixed with hot cherry pepper relish in it and hot onions and brown mustard on a thing. Delicious. Then all of a sudden I got to clear the deck because they have a special St. Patrick's Day one with chopped corned beef and Thousand Island coleslaw. Jeez. He makes his own Thousand Island, just does like some simple slaw mix that he makes himself, puts that on there. So that's a lot. It's overpowering. And for some reason, Pepsi nailed it with all of them. So food tastes better with Pepsi. Good meals deserve Pepsi. It's something you should ask for by name. I do all the time. And I don't know. I say it all the time. I just think that it elevates my meals. So give Pepsi a try next time you get the opportunity. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
No better way to cool down off a Red Hot.
It's cold Pepsi. The longest time of the day for me is while I'm talking about it before I drink it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're sitting there and all I want to do is kind of drink. I like how you put the brand out too.
That's professional stuff. These kind of cups too, these tumblers.
Yeah.
The plastic tumbler.
The pebble cup. Yeah.
And then you also have the ice. And you know, my friend used to call this when we get at a restaurant, fancy Pepsi. When it had the ice in, because then the bubbles are popping up a little more. You see them climbing. You see them popping.
I could tell you these cups though, I almost find, for people who are not watching this on YouTube, the plastic, like thick plastic cups, it always reminds me of Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, that's what I was going to say.
And it almost had like more of a pebbling to it, Pizza Hut. And that's where, and so I did some burger review at Joe Biden's favorite burger place down in Wilmington. It was called the Fireplace, I think, or the something.
The pit, charcoal pit.
Charcoal pit. Because I had it out while I was doing the sandwich of the month the other day. And I couldn't help myself. You know what I mean? And so I stole one. And then I spoke about it and I did the review and the people like, we heard you stole some cups from us. And they sent me a set.
Oh, wow.
They sent me like 6 of them. So I use them religiously. But okay, Pepsi, thank you very much for your continued support. Make sure you guys go out there and try it because food deserves Pepsi. I was talking about this beefsteak. How would you like to tear into this with me, Clem? I go to a place called The Corner. Ian, please chime in here. I go to this place, The Corner in Bay Ridge. It's on the corner. It's on the corner of 80. I think it's on 86th Street and 3rd Ave. My fourth there. They're 86th Street and 3rd Ave. And it's the same guys as the dudes who own Brooklyn Roots. Brooklyn Roots has a pork chop named after me there, and I love Brooklyn Roots. They do a beefsteak dinner. I had never gone to a beefsteak dinner until I moved to New Jersey, and my brother took me to one at a local VFW. It was to like benefit the fire department. Okay. They just took big tenderloins of beef, sliced them up, drawn butter, Italian bread, pitchers of beer, wine and sangria, whatever the hell it is. We watched like stand-up comedians, played cards, and did raffles, and that was that. And it was a lovely night. We got drunk and we got laughy and all that kind of stuff. This guy decides to elevate it, and he's doing it every Thursday night. So it's like, this prime rib that they're doing, Venetian style. Then they have the lamb chops. Then they were doing fillets. Then they're doing crab cake, mac and cheese, just kind of putting them all out on the same time. And it was my wife and I, my brother and his wife, and we had gone there, and they just kept coming out. I think it was like this plate of tartare, which I wound up eating partially without the bread. Just raw, I'm throwing down raw meat.
You're raw dogging it.
And I know I have everything in front of me. And they just end with a couple of chocolate chip cookies and brownies. Clem, it's a perfect guy's night out. Just you and I packing our colons with more meat than the Village on a Saturday night. I would do it with you. I would do it with you. I would do it with people that I don't like because there's so much stuff going on. So we're going to drop a review next week. This will drop on Monday. So it's either going to be out or next week. And I'm telling you guys, if you can find Firehouses when they do fish fries, is awesome. And local beefsteak dinners, particularly if they're going to, is awesome. And then if you get a chance, do an elevated one, like me, Fancy Pants, at the Corner in Bay Ridge.
Damn.
I loved it so much.
I've only had the spaghettis and the pancake breakfast.
Pancake breakfast is another one, which is always good. But how many can you do, really, you know?
Exactly. And this isn't the beefsteak, that's an elevated menu, obviously. It's something you're not going to be, I can make pancakes in 2 minutes at home. This is a little more work, going out, getting the beef. My question is, who is a Barstool employee that you would not want to go to this beefsteak dinner with? Oh, where's the cutoff?
Probably. I don't. If I was going to a beefsteak in a firehouse, then this wouldn't be the same answer. But if I was going to an elevated place, I don't know. Maybe it's Kadek, because I've been to dinners with Kadek, and he's trying, but he still holds his fork like he's about to bale hay. And I could just imagine what he would do. He would take all the attention away from the food that's on the table, and people would gather around to watch this guy just absolutely throw this down. I was lucky enough to have dinner with him, Dante, and Danny Conrad, and we had a wonderful time. I really like sitting across from him, and he makes me laugh like crazy, but I don't know if it would have been cost effective for the restaurant. I liked him too much to have Kate go in there and just start eating absolutely all you can eat. And I also wouldn't bring somebody I couldn't bring Clemmer. Scratch Kadek. It's Clemmer. I couldn't, and again, we're both close with Clemmer, right? And I don't think I would ever bring him to a dinner. And vice versa. I don't think he would ever want me to cook for him. He just has too many hangups. But that's the easiest answer.
You discussed those hangups here with him, right?
We did a whole episode with him here. So
anyone who's listening is shaking their head, being like, right,
that's right.
Good answer. That's number one in the Family Feud. Ding. Clemmer, number one.
Right. But I could just imagine me going for lamb chop and Kadek snatching out of my hands. That's a good problem to have. Can I cancel Kadek and just make it Clemmer?
No, I think Kadek would be your number one answer to take to the beefsteak.
I'm thinking now because
John Candy in Great Outdoors, the old 96er.
Right, the old 96er.
He's got to eat the grizzle too. Doesn't give a shit.
You ever did anything where you had to compete? Like, in all the time you've been at Barstool, you've been in, you were in Lithuania, like scouting Latvia. I'm sorry,
Close.
like doing all that stuff. Have you ever done anything like when I came in second in the buffalo wing eating contest?
I've never done competitive eating, and every time I've seen it, especially in its early days, I said I definitely could do that, because this body doesn't just happen by mistake. And I am at the age now where I'm like, this seems like it could go down. It could be a bad idea. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe beginning of Barstool, I would have loved to have done it. I've never done it. I see the After Dark guys, they're doing their fast food runs, and I'm like, I don't have it anymore.
I feel the same way. We had Webby on, Jay Webby, the guy from Australia. He was a competitive eater. We had him on here, and he was giving us some of the stuff that he's done. Like you say, your body type, like us bigger guys, it doesn't make sense anymore. They're not big guys anymore.
No.
Webby is ripped. he's ripped to shreds. I don't know if Joey Chestnut still
he's thinner than when he started eating hot dogs.
Yeah, the Black Widow was this small Japanese woman.
Kobayashi?
Yeah, Kobayashi. It's just like a different thing. And I find that the most guys, when you get up there and you're just a big dude, you don't do that well. But Kadik would do very well in the beefsteak, and Clemmer would. And I don't know if I would take.
Well, Clemmer would be like, "Can I get this without salt and pepper, please?" Like he would be making special requests, which would then upset the people at the firehouse or wherever this fictional food is.
I would tell you most of this stuff was cooked medium rare, which was good. But I know like there would be some picky people who would want to send it back. Where are you right now? And you know what? We'll save that because I'm going to ask it towards the end. Oh, so we ask kind of the same questions at the end of each show. This morning, a guy that we both know, the kid Ari. He came into me. We were in a little bit early because we had the bracket thing before this. When Jenks was on, Jenks had recommended this restaurant in Florence.
Yep.
La Regia or something. And the place blew up, absolutely blew up. And so many people had seen, not necessarily listened to the podcast, but saw the clips go viral. And so this place, it changed it around. This happens to Dave every week. It's never really happened to me. Like when we were going to our tours a lot, we'd come in and see people would come in just to see me and whatnot. And that was awesome. But this place, Aria was nice enough to take some photo or some videos of it. And the owner of this place is like, look at the book. 2 months out, a podcast. And all I can understand from him is podcast. The podcast, like, molto bene, grazie. And so, meanwhile, the phone's still ringing off the hook. And he said he had a wonderful meal, best meal he had in Italy. He said the views from this restaurant are breathtaking. So it's nice to speak to someone who actually went there other than Jenks, just to get a second. And Jenks hadn't been there in years. So I can report to you now that this place is still legit as shit. And the guy, I think, gave him some money off the bill and like threw in a dish and all that stuff. So we're changing lives.
Jenks that's all he does is change people's lives.
He does, yeah. Jenks, what the fuck is
He's
Jenks?
an angel. Jenks was sent here from heaven, and we just haven't realized it yet. Right. The only people who've taken up on it are this Italian guy and Frank.
Yeah, he's ripped like Jesus, got the long hair. Is Jenks the fucking second coming? He walks across the Hudson River every morning. One of the first things that we did with food together, you and I, was GrubHouse. Can you remind me what the hell GrubHouse was and tell the people?
So it was a weekly show. And by show, I mean, we would just hop on there during COVID. So we were all losing our minds and trying to figure out other ways to do stuff because there was no sports going on or really people meeting up. I can't even tell you the name. It was Clubhouse was the name of the app.
Yes.
Because it was
Twitter.
Clubhouse, and there was another app that was audio driven that I think Twitter has since, turned into Twitter Spaces. Yeah, Spaces. Yep. But Clubhouse was its own thing. GrubHouse was our take on it. 3 full body men, me, you, and Coach Doug's.
Coach Dougsy.
And we would just go on every week and just kind of, it was maybe the babies version of.
You got to try this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do much as far as talking about restaurants that we'd gone to. We would just kind of shoot the shit, more reminiscing type thing, and hit any headlines, which he and I have been kind of fucking around with, and I kind of enjoyed. So we're going to do a little bit of that now. But I will tell you, it kept me sane because Mangold was one of the guys who used to come on just about every week, Nick. And then there was that dude from Heroes and the Star Wars movie. Do you remember his name?
Greg Grunberg.
Yeah, Greg Grunberg. This guy was like he's a legitimate actor. He still is. He's out in California, I believe. And he tuned in just by accident, I think, once. He's small stoolie. And he used to come on every week. So it was like me, you, Dougsy, Mangold, and Greg Grunberg. And we'd have, I don't know, maybe a couple of hundred people listening. Right? Wasn't it sort of like that? I don't know.
Did all right. And everyone had their takes, and we had kind of a recurring themes going and whatever. And we talk. And I think Dougsy was big into Texas Roadhouse back then, as he still is on Twitter whenever you follow him now.
I tweeted last night, Nadeau. Jeff Nadeau is obviously kind of back in the mix. I don't know if we rehired him or not. I haven't been following it too closely. But he had said something about he doesn't do fast food, but he likes Texas Roadhouse. I'm the same way. I'm a Texas Roadhouse guy.
You're a Roadhouse guy.
Yeah, I'm not a Roadhouse guy. I've gone once. But we were stuck for a place to eat when we were visiting Mick down in Alabama. And all of a sudden, I was able to get a table at Texas Roadhouse. And I found it to be delightful. Where do you put that in the pantheon of the... So it's what? Longhorn, Outback, Roadhouse.
Yes. So I've only been to Longhorn and Roadhouse once, and it was within the last 5 years. So this is the thing. The nostalgia side of it doesn't grip me like I think it grips other people. I will say the cinnamon butter of Texas Roadhouse.
It's the only thing I don't like.
The test, and that you didn't even like that.
Right. I thought that was a decent piece of meat and believe me, I shit on fast food every now and again. I did the top 5 fast food fish sandwiches for Lent. It almost killed me. Man. And people went crazy. So I had to hop on a flight to Asia to go to fucking Arby's. Which, by the way, is the best fast food fish sandwich. Everybody was right. We were 100% wrong.
Meats of all sorts.
But I thought Texas Roadhouse, in a pinch, particularly if you're on the road, what they put on the plate in front of you, at least you can identify. Like, you know what the hell's on there and stuff.
And when you are in the state you're in at that moment where you're just looking for something and it delivers, even hits what it should do, it just gives you a C+.
Yeah.
It feels like an A+ because it gave you exactly what you needed. I am an Outback guy. I have to say, out of those 3, Outback was my number 1. And to this day, I still remember it was such an idiot thing to do. I remember when I was like in my 20s and I went to my parents who live, right the stone's throw away from me. I think at this point I was probably still living with them. And I'm in the pool. I was like, oh, where were you guys? Like, we went to Outback. I go, you didn't take me? And the fact I'm bringing this up on a podcast
right, so
20 years later lets you know how deep that wound was in me. And it broke my heart. It broke my everything. It probably saved my heart in some respects, right? Because I wouldn't be loading up on the bloomin' onion. Great bread as well. Do you like that bread?
That's the brown bread.
The brown bread.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And then I'm a rib guy. I'm a big rib guy. You a rib guy?
Yeah, of course.
There's my thing about ribs. It's either if you go with baby back ribs, I'm a baby back rib guy. At that, they can either be the best meal you've had for the month, or it could be the worst meal you've had. It is if you're going in blind, which by Guy Eddie, I got a rib spot.
I got a rib spot.
He said, and then he told me the rib spot went out of business. Then he was going to try to buy the rib spot or try to, get it back open. There's a whole saga with this rib spot, which I hope we can go to together if it's back open. If we ever go to Chicago, maybe we go to the Dozen playoffs. We go to Chicago, have ourselves some ribs.
I'd be going to the Dozens playoffs as a spectator, though.
Yes.
Just so you know. Yeah,
yes, you could cheer me on.
We're not very good at that thing. That reminds me of a meal that we had, which I thought was great. For no reason at all, I had driven from my house probably about an hour north of me to Hoodoo Brown's. Hoodoo Brown's barbecue, because we were going to go down and do Hogs for the Cause, Hog Fest down in New Orleans. And I had to judge a rib competition with Ben Mintz. And so Ben was in, we didn't have the Chicago office then. So Ben was working out of here. So he came with me. I think I drove with him up there or something.
Yes, that was early-ish Mints days. That was during he was doing after dinner mints. He'd have his daily where he'd have the mints.
Sup, fellas? Sup, fellas? And then he'd pop a mint at the end of it. But we went up there, and I can tell you, people say there is no good barbecue north of the Mason-Dixon line. And I can understand that's a hill that people want to die on. You feel very strongly about it. I did a review of some place called Catfish Heaven down in Tuscaloosa, and somebody in the comments who's from Louisiana came at me and everybody else saying that you can only have the best catfish in Louisiana. Sure, that may be one of the things, and maybe you can only have the best barbecue in Lockhart, Texas, or whatever. But I will tell you, I'm not a barbecue expert. This, I think, is the best barbecue you can get up here, Hoodoo Brown's. I really, really enjoyed it. And if you're going to ask me why I was so biased, they gave me one of the best sausages.
Oh, yeah.
They gave me a cacio e pepe sausage. It doesn't sound like traditional barbecue, obviously, but it was absolutely delicious. And I think you told me to go there. Weren't you the guy?
So that's like the local-ish spot. It's a half hour or so from me, but it's worth the ride. People are coming in all over, my area, whatever, because you have New York, you have Connecticut there, and people are coming into Hoodoo. And it's one of those places that for us, it's like, we've struck oil. I'm sure down south, it's a little less hard to find a place this good. But these guys, this is the thing about Hoodoo, and this is why I know they're great.
Yeah.
They come from the north, go to Texas, go to all these different places, these barbecue fests, Hogs for the Cause, whatever it may be. They come in not only from the Northeast, but from Connecticut. And everyone thinks people from Connecticut, little foo-foo, little Northeasterners. And they come back with their head still attached to their body.
Right.
That's how you know they're good. And I think those people, they probably open some eyes, go like, you know what? Those Yankees can cook pretty well up there with the barbecue. And I just went there probably 2 weeks ago with my family. We stopped by on the way home, and I know you've done this before. I'm like, oh, we're going to our buddies in Fairfield, Connecticut. On the way home, if I take this way and this way, and then I'll go, oh, you guys want to just go to Hoodoo? As if I haven't been thinking about it and looking at the menu the last 2 days making my order. And sure enough, we went to Hoodoo, and crab pleaser, the brisket, the pork, the sausage, everything. And then I'm telling you right now, I don't know if you had it actually.
The jar of bacon?
Did you have dessert?
No, I didn't have
I'll
dessert.
tell you right now.
There's something else I didn't try either. Before we go to dessert, the guy, I'm telling you right now, Ian, we went in there, and the gentleman who owns the place, I'm blanking on his name. I don't even remember much of the Chris. Much of the food, only because I was so in love. You see it all the time with pitmasters on social media. They smoke sausages like cheddar jalapeno sausage. And when it comes off the smoker, they do that thing where they go into the camera and they crack it. Mm-hmm. And all the pork fat and the cheese. Like this guy did that with a cacio e pepe right in my face. Almost got me with it, to be quite honest with you. And I was absolutely in love. But he also brought out, I think, a prime rib.
A full prime rib.
A full thing of prime rib. And me and Clem and I are going around with trying everything. By the time we go to try the prime rib, Mitzi ate the whole thing. He didn't save us. There was no gristle. You would have to sandblast. You would have to carbon fucking. You didn't even know there was any meat on that bone at any point, at any time. He just went to absolute town on it, which is a testament to the place and also a testament to maybe being a little bit selfish. If you didn't think Mitzi was a little selfish the way he was like laying in the airplane, you might think he's selfish if you try to have a prime rib.
I just wanted some of the marrow. He sucked that all out. The marrow. It was all just Mincy took care of it.
But they just put like down, I think, a mason jar with just the candied bacon sticking out, almost like a centerpiece. And I was like, is that real? It was before AI. So I was like, but is that, he's like, yeah, you can eat that. I thought everything was very good across the board.
And then the s'mores pie, that's the dessert. I'm telling you, I said to my wife the other day, I said, I think this might be the best dessert I've ever had.
Really?
It is number one. Graham cracker crust. They have ice cream in there. You have your mallows. The mallows are roasted up top. You have chocolate in there. And it's
you didn't miss it.
It's a straight up 10. And I believe the story goes, Chris told us when we went the first time, his mom, I believe it's his mom, it might be the co-owner's mom, just came in when they opened and said, hey, we need desserts. She made desserts, and she makes all the desserts herself.
That's right. The mom. That's right. Yeah. So I did try. It was very, very good. Yeah.
Like 10 years later, I think they just had their 10-year anniversary. And these guys are big stoolies too. So anyone in the Ridgefield area, or if you're passing by, check them out. If you ever see them at Hogs for a Cause, I know they do the Chicago Smokeout, is it called?
I think they do them all.
They do them all. Big stoolies. They came to HQ too. They brought a ton of food. Big Barstool people from day one, and A plus food. I mean, again, I can't speak on the prime rib, unfortunately.
That's the only thing I don't know about. Like honestly, like
it's not on the menu. I don't think. I think he made it specially for us.
Yeah, he did it. He smoked a prime rib, so he doesn't put it on the menu. I don't think. And I'm going through now, and I'm looking at the menu, and the menu is elite as you would expect it to be, including the Hogzilla, the shaved pork ribs, pulled pork, pork belly, hoodoo voodoo sauce, and a fried green tomato on a sandwich. Come on. You fucking kidding me? But everything that they have here is great. They don't have the prime rib. It was made special for us. And he did. It wasn't the beef rib. It wasn't like just the rib. It was the prime rib. And Mincy took it down.
That was old Mincy too. That was before he was fit and in charge. So he just hammered it down.
Yeah, like he had 6
Actually, our boy Jordy too has he's smoked there a bunch of times. He did like barbecue school with them. So he's big into the barbecue stuff. But unfortunately the prime rib.
Where does Jordy live?
He's Philly. Philly area.
Yeah, he had just smoked a brisket over the weekend, and I always comment on it because whatever he does. So follow Jordy. He's with Barstool. He covers a lot of Philly stuff. Is he primarily baseball or hockey?
Hockey guy, but he follows the Phils, but he's a big hockey guy.
Yeah, he's a big sports guy in general. And he's also a big barbecue dude. And so I think I read he put a comment in. I have to think of what I'm going to write back. I'm still waiting for the day I can put my meat in Large's mouth. So, you might want to clear that up. And I know exactly what he means, but I don't get that a lot.
I know he had the meat sweats. That was the show he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's a good guy. Put that meeting. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of sneaky okay chefs here at Barstool, like guys who are frustrated and are pretty good around the kitchen. Then there are some like next level guys. Obviously, Donnie with his training has become one of those next level guys. But I put Jordy in there as one of those next level guys as well. I think he has that love for barbecue. Probably does it better than anybody here in this thing.
Yep, because during that GrubHouse era, when we had extra time and we're home, I tried the whole smoking thing, and I did it with an electric. I'm sure it's
pellet smoker.
They just would spit on me if I even thought of it. But you just try to like season it the right way and wait on it and remember, and I'd fuck it up every single time. So you need to have the love of the game and the ability. And Jordy clearly like transcends that. Yeah. He's like a goddamn pro, basically.
And the time.
Yeah,
it's one of those things that the kids want something quick. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna do an 18-hour brisket.
You know what we do?
What's that?
It's a half hour. Just go to Hoodoo.
Yeah, it's a half-hour brisket. What did you think of? So Clem had gotten fixed. I tell this story every now and again because it's one of my favorite stories. And as long as we're talking about food, it's because I got to see Clem's sausage. I had to shave Clem's balls. It was sponsored by Manscaped. Yeah, they had the ceramic blades, so it's very.
The lawnmower, I believe they called it.
The lawnmower 2.0. And this, again, this shows you, like, my wife is so ride or die, and so is Mama Clem. And so your wife taped it while you were in the shower with a towel open like this, and me standing in front of him, just kind of taking hair off of, or pretending to, obviously, take hair off his cock. And then I went and you got fixed while I was in the room, which was disturbing that the doctor was going to let me stay there for the whole thing. Clem lives about an hour and 15 minutes away from me. I drove up early, shaved his balls. We did this all for content.
This was Podfathers days.
Podfathers. I went into the doctor's office. I sat down, and I swear to God, they thought we were a gay couple, I believe. So they sat me down next to him. You're in a gown, right? Mm-hmm. And he's Winnie the Pooh in it. He's got nothing. Pants on. You're Donald Duck in it. Me. And then the guy's like, all right, I'm going to make a small incision and burn the fucking vas deferens. And all of a sudden, like, I smelled something burning, and he was like, you don't have to leave. I was like, I do. I have to go. Like, because I did not want to see it. I think he thought we were dating.
I kind of wanted you to be there. I wanted you to record it. At this point, when you've hit this point that we are at a Barstool, right, the more authentic, the better. The more behind the scenes, the better. How the sausage is made, how it's snipped, how it's whatever it might be. And I was like, I wanted you to go. And you're just crazy enough to say yes to it.
Yeah.
But I also don't blame you for saying no, because that's a lot. And
it was a lot to see my buddy, my coworker, let's just say not even a buddy, to see somebody do a surgical procedure on his penis. Like we never looked south of the wall when Annie was having the kids.
Yep. Never.
Like that would have ruined everything for me. As a matter of fact, we spoke about this on Podfathers. One of the things that I did when we were having our children was I was there. Did you see everything when you had your kids?
Not a thing.
So Clem and I are simpatico here. I'm on the other side of the drape, the curtain, so I can hold my wife's hand, like mop her brow or whatever, feed her ice chips or whatever. Yep. And when they're doing this thing. And then when the kid was born and the slap and the wah, they would normally put the kid right on the wife's chest or something like that.
Skin to skin.
And I said, we don't want to do that. Can you just please, when the kid comes out, I've seen it all before. Don't ask me to cut anything. Please don't ask me to cut the placenta. As a matter of fact, Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years, Danica McKellar, the girl who played her, who I kind of had a crush on. I think we were about the same age.
Me too.
She ate her own placenta and said that it was delicious.
Fry it, right?
I don't know what they do. And I was like, don't. So they went, they took everything off my kids, wiped them pristine, and then they handed it to us. Like somebody was like, oh, but then they won't imprint on you like they're a tiger cub or something like that. They led me along the wall, facing the wall, going like this to a thing. And I picked up my pristine kid and I said, oh, just a little bit behind his ear. And then they got like the little thing off behind his ear. So I highly recommend that for people who are thinking about having some kids. You're Italian. Clemenza. How big of an Italian are you? Because if I was sitting there with Eddie is like Italian, kind of not like a hardcore Italian guy. It's not like he had like tripa growing up or anything like that. How Italian are you?
Not as much as my name would have you think.
Okay.
Because I had Clemenza, the Godfather. They're asking me this
Drop
when I'm
the gun,
in
keep the
grade.
cannolis. Yeah.
It's like, no, we weren't watching that as our, as a family growing up. It wasn't our family movie. But I'm also half Irish, mutt, whatever as well. So my dad's 100% Sicilian. Mom is a mutt. So because of that, I don't have red sauce pumping through my veins, and I'll eat every kind of pepper. I'm still a little bit of a picky eater. So I think Eddie actually is a picky eater too, right? For his,
yeah, I think so. He's kind of a little bit more on the picky side, and there's a lot of stuff that he just hasn't tried. Like he had his first veal parm with me. And
that was crazy. I couldn't believe that.
That I thought was a little bit nuts because he's a restaurant guy.
Yes.
And I know that the tide has turned. By the way, veal parm used to be the thing. If you went to an Italian restaurant, you would order a veal parm. You didn't order chicken parm. Sometimes kids would order chicken parm. I'm 50, mid 50s, right? 54. I'm telling you, if you find people, particularly where I grew up in, wherever I grew up, veal parms are it. We used to do veal parm heroes all the time. Never chicken parm heroes. It was always veal parm heroes from pizza parlors. We go sit down on fucking Sam's on Court Street, veal parm. And then the worm turned, and now chicken parms are the biggest thing in the world, right? Like I think chicken parm is one of the most popular sandwiches in the world. And so when Eddie had told me, this big Italian dude that he never tried, I was fucking floored and a little bit disappointed. And then I got nervous. I took him to my favorite place at the time, which was, what the fuck was it? Because it's closed down since then. Echo on Chambers Street. I took him to my favorite veal parm, and he was floored by it. And I was so relieved. You know what I mean? Because for a while there, I was like, did I just live a lie for 40 some odd years and these things suck? But so I'd put veal parm over chicken parm at any point.
I was just at Emilio's Bellotto. I walked,
a little bit of flex. By the way,
this kid, not the back room.
That's right. By the way, why can't I just be happy for him? He hits me large at Emilio's Bellotto. I'm like, you in the back room? I knew he wasn't, but that's where I was. I apologize.
Jerk thing to right back.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row at Resdora, then he's at Emilio's Bellotto. But go ahead. How was the Emilio's Bellotto?
It was good, but I didn't order the veal parm because the waiter was like, "Listen, like it's for like a family. You can't really just order it for yourself."
Yeah.
So I ended up just doing like meatballs and a pasta, and it was great. But
was it good? Your brother just sent me a menu. So Ian's a big guy. His brother's a Planet, and he plays football at Rice next season. He's nice. At Princeton now. He's going to be playing for the Rice Owls. So he's in Spain, and he sent me a menu from a tapas bar. And I'm telling you, like I knew everything on the menu, like and stuff. It's getting bad. It's getting bad now how much food is taking over my life. In a certain degree, you too, because I've already seen this guy's palate flourish. But would you call yourself a picky eater?
Picky-ish. I'm definitely better than I was as a kid. As a kid, definitely, which honestly was like the worst thing that I could have done, because I was like, if I didn't want it, I would say I like bread. I'm a big bread guy. That's definitely the Italian in me. And I'm in like right north of Westchester County, and a lot of the stuff from the Bronx comes up to us. So we're getting the Bronx bread. It's crusty, but the inside is nice and
Bronx
soft.
is getting a lot of love in this episode. I love it. Yeah.
And oh God, so I'd be like, if I didn't want to eat something, I would just eat bread, because I'm thinking food pyramid, bottom, just eat your bread.
Sure.
Turns out that was all a ruse, and I'm living it for the rest of my life, wearing the tire around me. So it's that part of it. But yeah, I mean, like chicken parm is the one thing I do think. I think if you're going to a pizzeria, like Dave says, fastball, give me the cheese, bye.
Right.
I think if you're going to but if you're gonna have a sandwich, I think chicken parm, get the chicken parm. If you're gonna go to a burger joint, burgers, fries. If you're gonna go to the, whatever it may be.
But I think chicken parm is turning into chicken fingers and fries for kids, for adults, whenever they go to an Italian place.
That's
like
fair.
if I go to Resdora, if I go to Emilio's Bellotto, and all I order is a chicken parm, I feel like I'm not doing myself a favor.
Yeah.
Is that yeah, it's
but I
fair
think
to say.
if a new pizzeria opens, just a regular pizzeria, I want to know your fastball, I want to know your cheese pie, I want to know your chicken parm. But if I'm going to a nice place, a Rao's as you call it, I call it Rao's. I used to call it Rao's. He calls
Rao's
because I had a kid in my grade and his last name was Rao. I'm not going to get the chicken parm.
I used to, so I had a table at Rao's twice a year. I used to go. And then that went down to once a year. And then the guy whose table I used had died, and I don't have a table anymore at Rao's. It's just the way that it goes. He didn't will it to me. He willed it to somebody else, and I don't know the dude. And you used to be like, no, I had Rayo's last night too. I was like, get out of here. And then you lift up the fucking jar of sauce.
Three for $12 at Costco.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me about what you were doing with Eddie for a while. Before you do that, I'm going to go back to some of the stuff. Ian has me sometimes interacting with what's going on at Barstool. And some poor kid only ordered one pie for 7 people the other day.
Oh, yeah.
So I put in, did you see I answered somebody with a video, which is something I never do. Ian kind of taught me how to do it, so I did it the other day. And so 7 guys are coming over to watch a basketball game. How many pies do you order? And this poor kid only ordered one. Mm-hmm. And they gave him
and he got garlic knots, though, or garlic bread or something like that.
And meanwhile, he's the nicest guy in the world. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if everyone ate like him, we'd probably live forever. So I had said I would go half a pie per person, always round it up if it's an odd number, and then throw in another pie for the boys. So that was my thing. So 7 people, 3.5 pies gets round up to 4. I throw in an extra pie. 5 pies for 7 guys plus wings and garlic bread.
Correct.
I think that's the right thing.
I think you need the protein if they have good wings. If not, maybe some chicken parms.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But one of the things is, and Ian will point out to you, I said, what's the makeup of those 5 pies? And I said, first 3 plain or maybe 2 plain. But when he made the clip, it was like 3 plain and then 2 random. I gotta be honest, that's probably how I would have done it. I wouldn't have done a 2 plain. I probably would have done 3 plain. I got a lot of shit, not for the amount of pizza I was ordering. Everyone's like, oh, the math is spot on, just like you're saying. But people are like, how are you not a toppings guy? Like almost questioning my manhood. Is it because we get good pizza here that we don't need? I don't like a lot of toppings on my pizza to begin with. Like sausage and hot cherry peppers. That's one of my combinations for it. I don't mind that at all. And then pepperoni every now and again. So I don't
buffalo chicken if you want to get a little crazy.
But I would never do that at a real pizza parlor. I don't think. I don't know. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not necessarily Ceres or going up to New Haven or anything, but like a good pizza parlor by me. I don't do buffalo chicken. I like pizza. So it's not that I'm averse to toppings. If you have like 1 or 2 good toppings to put on, I'll of course eat it and try it and hope that it's a dead soldier in the box later on or a Daggins or whatever the hell you want to call it. But, maybe because the majority of people who read it eat from Domino's.
I was going to say, this is something I learned when I went to college in the Midwest. They don't eat plain pizza out there. They can't eat plain pizza. It doesn't taste good because it needs toppings.
Because it's ketchup and cardboard. Yeah.
So when you say plain pizza, they're like, well, they can't even, they don't even know what New York pizza is.
And I don't think it was an overwhelming amount of people coming at me like the Arby's constituency. I swear to God, Arby's, like, you hear about paid protesters. Arby's put paid commenters in because we got like 1,500 people say I had to go to Arby's. That's why I went. I think 1,500 on one of my posts is huge.
And now we got the Culver's people coming after you.
I can't get on a fucking flight for Culver's. I can't.
Culver's is
because he's declared
large.
I've never been.
He's declared the best fried fish fast food sandwich without trying Culver's.
Now, they do have some in like Florida and stuff. I don't know if you're going down there for racing or anything else.
When I go to a Culver's spot, I'm going to shoot something at Culver's. I'm going to shoot something, and it will include the cheese curds. It will include the butter burgers. And it'll include the fish sandwich, even if it's not Lent. So this will happen at some point. I will go there. Oh, and the concrete, they do those concrete shakes, right?
They're a big dairy company.
Yeah, like whatever the hell they're, And believe me, I've had butter burgers in Wisconsin. I used to go to Wisconsin quite a bit because I went to school in Indiana. We used to go up to Marquette, and I can't get on a plane to do a fucking fish sandwich. I can't travel far to spend $5.50 on a fish sandwich that may or may not be better than Arby's, because at my core I don't care. And it's not healthy for me, and I don't have that. Dave will not pay for it. I can guarantee if I went to Dave and said, "Listen, I need a definitive list here, Dave, and you got to get me to a Culver's stat before Easter," he'd be like, "Yeah, you're fired." So I'm not doing it.
You need Eddie's the guy. Comes with, like, morning he comes, he goes to Culver's, brings it to you. If he comes to New York for a day,
everything's better with Eddie.
Yeah. Everything's better with Eddie.
Talk to me about what you were doing with Eddie. You're doing the snacking thing.
We're doing Snack Boys. Yep. After on the dozen, me and him are the big boys. We pretty good at trivia, more so the snack trivia, because we're both big boys again. So we said, hey, let's just have some fun, review some snacks and called it the Snack Boys. And we would go on runs of looking through grocery stores for, say, 20 new items that had just come out. You know, Lay's has a new flavor. They do us a flavor. Nerds has a new candy, yada, yada. And we just pick it up. We'd review it. And we bang out about 20 reviews every single time we go, because we don't see each other. He's in Chicago, I'm in New York, and then I'm in the burbs at that, where coming to the New York office is kind of is a tough thing. So we would bang out like 20 in a day, and by the end feel sick because you've just mixed a bunch of potato chips with a bunch of candy. We had cereals in there. You have milk going in, God knows what else. And we did it. We did probably 3 or 4 sittings. We have a bunch that we never even released because you just start releasing them. And we had, we had them cut, and then we would lose our producer for a couple days or a couple weeks. And as of now, we actually, our producer just got moved to another project full time. So we're kind of just, the Snack Boys are there. We're hibernating, Yeah. We're hibernating.
It's always tough too, because you never know when somebody else is using one of the things that you're judging as like a major sponsor.
And that's where it starts getting tricky.
Yeah. It's like if all of a sudden somebody was to start shitting on Pepsi, right? Or something, and knowing or unknowing, it would be unknowing that they're a sponsor of mine. It sort of seems a little bit counterproductive.
Yes.
Yeah. So you always had to dance that line a little bit.
And
professionally,
my one goal at this company, as I told you, which you couldn't believe when I said it, is to stay off of Dave's radar. And you said, Clem, you ignorant fool, you always want to be on the boss's radar. Then during the beginning of COVID, you had to give Dave stock tips. You then went on his radar. And then a week later, you texted me and said, Clem, you were right. You never. Right. And the one way to get on Dave's radar is to fuck something up with a sponsor.
Yeah.
And that's why I am very much fine not doing Snack Boys, because of things like that. That's not the reason we're not doing it right now. But I do think whenever we do one, I'm like, I sure hope this isn't going to hurt anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can tell you too, to your point, that's exactly how it went down. I was like, I spent my whole career trying to be front and center in front of management. You don't make any sense to me, Clem. You're an idiot. And it wasn't a sponsor thing, but Dave and I were doing Stock Central. And as I was talking to him about something, he was watching the market, news came out, and like Boeing dropped $50 after losing a contract or something. And Dave had lost $200,000. He's like, what happened? I was like, I'm looking at the tape now. They just missed out on a contract. He's like, that's bad luck. You told me that. I don't want to do this show anymore. And that's how I got out of doing Stock Central, which wound up being a blessing in disguise. But I wound up going on Snack Boys with you guys. Yes. And I disgusted you guys. I'd given you stuff that you couldn't even fucking eat because I'd gone to like
a Chinese wet market, I think.
I did. I went to the Wuhan. Yeah. I gave you stuff. One of the things that I don't like about you is your aversion to fish markets.
Yes.
And
not just fish markets, just fish areas of a grocery store, wherever it may be.
And I went to Stew Leonard's with you, and you introduced me to Stew Leonard's because there wasn't any near me. And then when they opened up near me, I fell in love with the place, and I became close with Stew Leonard.
You guys are on first name basis.
So I had him make up vests for us because Clem and I had gone and did like a visit. You and I and Annie, we filmed something there. So mine said large. I think yours said clam. Like clam. I had him purposely spell it different. But Ian, the weirdest thing in the world is as you're coming around, Stew Leonard's is not a traditional 10 aisle back and forth. But if it was, as you're coming around aisle 6, going towards aisle 8, aisle 7, Clem closed his nose, held his breath, and ran until he got past the fucking fish.
You never seen me move that fast, have you?
It was a guttural. Yeah, you were El Gato Grande. Is it just something that? So do you cook fish at home?
No, fish doesn't enter the house. My wife will eat fish. I don't think the kids eat fish. The kids are the same way. Dad, keep us moving. So they have whatever I have. I don't think it's rare. I don't want to say uncommon. I don't think it's rare though. I think there are people who do not like the smell.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So I just keep it moving when I go.
You plugged your nose and you ran.
Well, I said, let's do this for the camera, Large. I mean, I guess we could say the behind the scenes now that it's been about 5 years.
The cinema magic I bought into. Now I'm just getting old AI fucking duped all the time. But, and now I'm such close friends with Stew. I mentioned it on here just to kind of drive you crazy.
Well, you had told me, hey Clem, did you get a package on your front step that has a bunch of cow spots on it? And I said, no. You said, you sure? Like, you didn't open it up and it had, wings and pigs in a blanket, and it said, enjoy the Super Bowl.
I did.
Love Stew. And I said, I am literally warming up the car to go drive to Stew Leonard's for my Super Bowl run.
Right.
They had sent you a Super Bowl care package. They did not send me, who has written blogs, tweets, got you, and maybe hundreds of people have visited Stew Leonard's.
I'd say more.
I think Hubs just went recently and said, I'm going for my first time. I have a list that I just send people. These are the 20 things you got to get from Stew's, which ends with the free ice cream cone because you spent over $100.
Yes.
I've been going there since the Danbury one was literally just tents.
Stew Leonard's is a specialty grocery store.
It's like a Wegmans for people that know of that.
And they give out a lot of free samples. They have a lot of animatronic animals. So if you go there with your kids, you hit the button and the Chiquita banana. And I'm here to say, they have one of the most depressing animatronics too, because Stu had I don't mean to bring the room down. Stu had a tragedy where I believe it was granddaughter, right? Was it granddaughter or daughter?
It's on Stewie the Duck.
Stewie the Duck. One of his kids, was it? Or grandkid?
Yeah, I think kids.
One of
drowned in a
pool. And so he's into pool safety, which is, very, very, but it's like, don't jump in. And it's a kid's voice and it breaks your heart. It's like hearing that Eric Clapton song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's the equivalent of that. And if there's something going on, like Dubai chocolate is hot, Stew Leonard's will make a Dubai chocolate.
They made the best Ted Lasso biscuits.
The shortbread cookies.
And I was like, oh my God, these things are 10 out of 10, the best things I've ever had in my life. They crush it. And I said to you, yes. I can't go to Stew. I can't go to Stew's to feed my Super Bowl guests because they just gave you free food.
Right.
And honestly, my relationship with Stew's, I'm not going to say it's
fractured.
It's stressed. I won't say fractured. I'll say it's stressed.
Right.
I have some personal opinions about what's going on in my story now that I've held to myself.
Okay.
I think if this gets fractured, I think those thoughts might find
they're going to come up to the surface.
I can't promise anything.
Right.
They have a suggestion box, and I've long given my suggestions for this suggestion
to cut me
box.
loose.
They tell you, hey, what do you like? We need more samples. We need this. We need that. Those suggestion boxes may go into digital print. I might hire some bots to retweet them and kind of make them sweat under their brow, all because this guy has to show off his flex about how him and Stu are on first name basis.
They have a huge liquor department. They sell edibles now.
Do they?
Like the THC, CBD.
You're in Jersey.
ones.
There's a different world over there than what I'm dealing with.
Anything that comes down the pipe, they try. Like Stu, they were doing that soft serve ice cream, and instead of doing it in the cherry dip, they were doing it in the butter dip.
Yeah,
they put the milk and then hitting it with
some sea
salt. I didn't have it just because.
That was another one I said, I understand. Just waking up in the morning, I'm towing the line.
Yeah.
I don't need to go over that line
and
potentially see what happens.
I'm going to try. Like, my only thing is so many people, when it hit that bakery in downtown Manhattan, the French bakery in downtown Manhattan, it kind of went, viral. So I was going to try and do it right away with Stu to try and like piggyback off that. So people are like, oh, I don't have to go to Manhattan and wait a half hour for it. I can go to one of the many locations. And I couldn't get our schedules correct. So it just kind of went by the wayside. But it appeals to me because I'm a vanilla ice cream guy and I love butter. I mean, I just love butter.
Who doesn't?
And I love salt. So the whole idea behind it is made. It's almost like tailor made for me because it doesn't work with chocolate. I don't think it works with it. Oh, and I went and I got those stupid viral Tokyo Dome things.
Oh,
the ice cream sandwiches.
They have those at Stew's too?
No, I got them at the H Mart. I got them at the Korean grocery store. So you can't get the Tokyo Dome ones or whatever the hell it is, but people have tried the ones that are just the regular. The brand.
My boy Bob Fox had one too.
I wasn't a fan.
No.
Yeah, so I didn't even go in front of it. It almost gets papery. That light wafer around it is no longer like a crispy wafer by any stretch. There is a light shell of chocolate on it, which was just an absolutely delightful surprise.
It's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
It's like,
is it delightful surprise, the Daggins?
Ooh.
That's too long to say delightful surprise.
DS, that kind of can go a lot of ways.
Too much. Yeah, dick sucker. Yeah, excuse me. But anyway, we've done enough with Stu, haven't we? Talked enough about Stu?
You know who loves Stu?
Oh.
Stu. I think Stu Finer's a big Stew Leonard's guy. This is better than eating my wife's ass. This goddamn play.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. You've been at Barstool a lot longer than I have. How long have you been with the company?
10 years, and it was in November, so 10 and a half years.
Okay, so I've been here 7 and change, I believe. So not a lot longer.
You're always like newish in my eyes, and you've been here.
Yeah, which is crazy. Yeah. Is there somebody at a present company excluded? If you were to go out, I used to always say Italian meals just because I find them to be the most communal, but I kind of changed things. If you have to go out to a big Chinese dinner, you're sitting down at a Chinese restaurant with the big lazy Susan in the thing, right? And so you're
poo platter.
Yeah, you're DJing it around till you get to the orange chicken or whatever. And poo platters, the pots of tea, mixing the duck sauce with the hot mustard for the crispy noodles and anything. So you had to go there and you had to do it with 4 Barstool people. What would you think you'd have I'm going to use the word again because I love it, a delightful Chinese dinner. You and 4 other guys.
Dinner. Well, I'm throwing my snack brother on there. Obviously.
You have to throw Eddie in there.
You got to have Eddie on there.
Although, I'm not a big fan of Chinese. I don't know if not a lot of people, I think I spoke to him about, no, he is.
I was going to say that would break my heart.
Yeah.
I got to throw the wonton don on. I mean, the name says it all. There's actually,
would he be very judgmental because he's had so much good Chinese in China?
Well, this is the thing, Large. He knows the difference between the Chinese and the American Chinese.
Yeah, that's true.
And back in the day when Stephen Che was based here, he had told me about the place that says they invented the General Tso's chicken, which is somewhere in the 70s, I believe.
Okay.
And it was during one of those dozen weeks when everyone's down. Group of us went up, and I believe wonton don, we all went together. Chief was there.
Love Chief.
I don't think Shay can make it that night. And he kind of was a guide. He was, but not forceful with his hand, because I'm sure this isn't the first or the last time he's been asked to, MC the Chinese dinner. So you got to throw the wonton don on there. I'm going to throw Eddie on there. You know what? My one thing I want to do, one thing me and Eddie have always wanted to do is go to Hibachi with Portnoy. We always said we wanted to do the hibachi with Portnoy. And then he said the other day on a dozen match.
Why with Portnoy though? Does he say he liked it?
No, but then he goes, I love Benihana's. And I was like, Dave, I don't know. Me and Eddie wanted to do hibachi one night. We said, let's go with Dave. It'd be fun to see how Dave is at a hibachi. You know what I mean?
It'd be awesome.
See if he catches the broccoli in the mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
And see if he gets into it. And the fact he said he loves Benihana's, having a guy, when your boss is into hibachi, that's just a good thing for everyone around, And we said, Dave, after we won a match, we said, Dave, want to go out for dinner? He goes, yeah, sure. And we were going to tell him, hey, we looked up this hibachi place in Midtown. And he goes, oh, I got a place. And we went to some place that he had went to for
fancy.
Yeah. It was a very good place, really nice. But I was like, man, I just want to do hibachi with the boss, man. So maybe in the future. So Eddie, wonton don, third, well, I guess technically fourth person if you're including me.
Yeah. Table of 5.
Dave, are you coming too?
I can't. I know. I'm no present company excluded.
Present company
because
excluded.
I didn't want you to insult me and not put me on there. But I appreciate you still saying it. I don't like when we said it's not hibachi and it's Chinese. You then said you didn't put Dave on the list, and that makes perfect sense because you want to stay underneath his radar unless you have to
definitely
be.
Stay underneath. But I want to do hibachi. Like if I'm out with him, I'm thinking, this could have been our hibachi night. I gotta be out with Dave. Once we get the hibachi night done, then we could do our Chinese dinner together. I'd probably just go with Mike. This is the thing. I see I've known these guys for 10 plus years. I've been working with them, whatever. I would probably just take my guys, Robbie and KFC. They're 2 of my guys that I don't see. I speak to them through text or through whatever every week or whatever. But I just like to just sit down and have a meal with my guys.
But wait, when I gave the introduction to you, what can people, because I think I'm remiss in not saying that. My mom's basement, right?
Yeah.
How often? Once a week?
Once a week.
Right. It's you and Robbie.
Yep.
Every goddamn week.
And then sometimes it's more if we have Game of Thrones going on, we do a show, which Kevin comes on with. So that's Sunday nights. These are times where I see my boys, but eating at a dinner is different than making content and,
But I just want to make sure that I do, and
then Kevin, we Gotta Believe weekly for the Mets, which again is every Thursday, usually during the season for the Mets. So it's like I'm doing these things with them, but I'm not actually sharing a table and a meal with them. Which, by the way, so remember Stew had his viral clip when he had his order. I went to a barbecue with this guy. It wasn't Hoodoo. It was somewhere in, I believe, Suffern.
Okay. Went
to the barbecue place. Me, you, and our 2 beautiful brides came with us.
Oh, right.
And what does my guy Large do? Took the menu and ordered for the table without even saying he was going to do it. And I'm telling you, It was like being nestled in my little like mother's bosom, and she's just going to take care of everything for me. I felt so completely just warm, and I knew I was safe. I was in a good place that day.
I had asked the ladies at the bar, I was like, were you guys okay? And my wife is always like, please order for me. And Amanda was like, yeah, please do it. The only person I didn't ask was him because I didn't trust her. Yeah, but we did. We had a lovely meal with him.
He did a great job. There was a couple apps I would have probably sprinkled in, but I
did Benihana with the kids too, didn't we do it? Or have we done?
No, we've talked about it.
Mount Fuji. Yeah, Mount Fuji is just north of me in Hillsdale, New York, or something.
Yes, and it's right by my in-laws in Tuxedo.
Right.
So it's kind of a mid-ish point. It's a point. It's not a midpoint, but it's a spot where we go, where you guys are around. But usually when we're going to visit the grandparents and eat. So it doesn't really work. But it's something we've had on the calendar since, your kids were my kids' age now.
And we've been going for 20 some odd years since we moved out there, any longer than that. And for people who aren't familiar with Mount Fuji, it's in one of those mountains, like whatever those mountains are.
It's right off of 87.
The Ramapo mountain range or some shit like that. And you got to go up a little bit of a windy road, and then it has that pagoda feel to it.
Yes.
You get in there, there's that giant, I think it's a raccoon statue with the big balls. It has like some sort of symbolism, and they do it. And they have the best ashtray filled with the sauce. They're the two sauces they give you. One's the mustard and one's like the orange ginger or something like that.
Yeah.
Their ginger sauce in those little ashtrays, whew, that's the best. But you can't go anywhere after Mount Fuji because you smell like Mount Fuji forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
my eyebrows smell like Mount Fuji when I've been there for a while.
I had just went there for my first time. We took my father-in-law there for his birthday. So it was my first time ever going. There was a wedding there. I mean, the views are out of this world.
Weddings are huge there, yeah.
And little fun fact about Mount Fuji, our boy who used to work here, Buddha Ben.
Yeah, Buddha.
Biggest hibachi fan I've ever met in my life. An aficionado, I would say. I think it's his favorite food, yada, yada. And he said the best place to go is Mount Fuji.
Get out of here.
As I'm there, smelling like Mount Fuji in the car. I think I had a valet because it was jammed. I've never seen anything like it.
Packed.
And I texted him, I DM'd him, I said, man, you nailed it. Like first time, and I'll be back before long.
We did New Year's there.
Oh, that's a great spot.
The bar becomes like they have a dance floor where they play like old school freestyle, like hip hop type stuff. I had an absolute ball. So shout out Mount Fuji. I guess there's a couple other places by me who does that Benihana shit or hibachi style cooking, and nobody does it as good as him. So I'm a big fan of.
Nah, they're the best I think I've had. We have one place near us that's good. I try to get my dad, who's a great chef. That's the thing. My dad is a great cook. He doesn't do a ton of stuff, but he does a fair amount. And he bought one of those grills for his grill so we could do the smash burgers, right? I know you don't like smash burgers, but he does make a good one. And we're trying to get him to do hibachi. So for Father's Day or his birthday, we bought him all the tools for hibachi.
Right.
And it included the little doll, the kid who, when you push him down, he pees on you.
Yeah.
So then my son at school, they said, what did everyone do? And they said, he goes, it was my papa's birthday this weekend, so we bought him a Chinese pea boy. And I'm telling you, I don't know how that goes over.
I've been there, kid. I had one of those grills myself. I just didn't take care of it enough, the Blackstone. And I will show you the video of me doing the onion volcano on it if I haven't already. Yeah. Which is absolutely perfect. Ian, what do we got as far as topics today?
So we hit the pizza thing with Cody. I know we did protein Doritos last week, I believe. Mm-hmm. This week we have from Buffalo Wild Wings a wing flavored protein infused espresso martini.
Oh, okay. So I would think that would go a different way, right? Like when you said there was a protein Dorito, Ian's all about the gains. Mm-hmm. Protein, right? Every kid, my son, about proteins and stuff like that.
We're in a protein era right now.
Buffalo Wild Wings, more TVs than you can ever want. I think if you're going to go out just to like catch a game, is there a better place to go, particularly around March Madness and whatnot? There probably isn't. That sounds disgusting to me. Like, so the espresso martinis aren't necessarily my thing because I don't drink coffee, but I've had a couple of espresso martinis, including the one that Kevin puts out.
Yes.
What's the name of it? Night Owl?
No, it's Midnight Bean.
Midnight Bean, correct. But it has the owl on it. It's Cool Owl, right?
It does have an owl on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I stole a case of it. From the summer house. So when I went to go to the opening of Midnight Bean, he had a cocktail hour over here. I left early.
I went that night too.
I grabbed the bottle off the bar and I took it home. And I said, oh, Kevin, it was nice last night. And I brought a bottle home. He's like, no, I know you did. He's like, you're the only person that took a bottle from behind the bar. I said, oh my God, I thought they were goodies. He said, no. And then I delivered sandwiches to the beach house, Barstool Beach House, which Ian was down there doing all the stuff for, which is a huge lift. And on the way out, one of the guys, who was like, we're leaving tomorrow. Is there anything that you want from the house? They send us all this stuff. I was like, what's that? He's like, nobody had the midnight bean. So I took a case of 12 bottles, I think. So I have, and I'm telling you, if people come over my house, it's another free commercial for Kevin, Rich Get Richer, right?
That's right.
I shake those up and they're a huge hit. But I don't drink them. So that's why I'm against the Buffalo Wild Wings thing. Go ahead.
And it was a whole thing, by the way, at the house. We're like, what happened to all of the midnight bean? Like, because Chuck Naso, who does a lot of stuff for social, runs pretty much everything.
Yes.
He was chefing up these frozen espresso martini cocktails.
Oh, wow.
Because we bought like a slushy thing.
Oh, okay.
And we were out of supplies, and now we know why.
It was the last day. It was the last day, so Chuck could suck it up. By the way, there was a liquor store around there. Chuck could have fucking pulled himself. You know what else? I got some feedback. Big T had said something absolutely preposterous, and he said something how breakfast now is more of an event. People just don't wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to go out to breakfast. Am I miscategorizing what he said?
No, I mean, he sort of said like exactly what you said. He doesn't think that people just go out to breakfast, which is the most preposterous take I've ever heard.
He's like, if you don't give me, I think he said 12 hours notice, don't ask me to go to breakfast. And it led me, and if it wasn't for the voice of reason, Blutman, right? Blutman was sitting there on it, and all Blutman said was, no, me and the boys will get a stack of pancakes in Vegas last minute. I was like, yes. Breakfast to me is the easiest one to just go out. Do you agree with that? Like just to go out, if it's just you and your son or you and your daughter and you need to take them out for a meal. I love that one-on-one time with each of the kids. Breakfast is the best for that. Diners.
I love going out for breakfast. I have a great spot near me. Shout out Countryside Kitchen. Oh. Absolutely 10 out of 10 spot. The home of the cannoli pancake. You want to talk about that? That'll put you right.
Pornography.
You go out, you eat, and you go right back home to bed, and you sleep it off for the next 5 hours. But the thing is, there is something to be said with the price. If I'm going out and I'm dealing not just with my favorite kid at the moment, whoever I'm happy with, I'll take them out. I'm bringing a family of 4 out. I'm spending as much for that breakfast as I might be for a dinner at a not a sit down A+ restaurant, but a decent spot, right? And because of that, and then the kids aren't going to eat the pancakes. I could have made pancakes in the house. They would have actually eaten them. That drives me nuts. So if I'm dealing it with myself or with maybe one other person, yes. If I'm going out with a family, I'm spending a lot of money. I know they're not eating the pancakes, which are very easy to make with the mix. I love going out for breakfast. I actually think for someone like me that does get driven crazy by this, you kind of go with the hybrid and you go to the bagel store. You can get your sandwiches, you can get your bagels, whatever you may want, and everyone feels like they have a nice breakfast. So that I think you can do on a whim as a father of young children.
Right. I see your point. T's 25.
That
right? Is that fair to say? Is Big T
30? I'd say 30 by this point.
So I'm 25.
Oh, I apologize. So Big T is between 27 and 30.
Yeah.
Let's say for argument's sake. I'm very bad at that. And I hope that breakfast, and I believe he might be a single guy. I don't know if he's married with kids. I don't believe so. But he's probably
kids, I would say.
So he's probably a significant other and stuff. We're doing a lot of supposition here. I should probably just call it Big T. I would hate if that kid, if kids his age, 30 years old, don't do breakfast anymore. And I know, listen, you kind of remember it a little bit, but sitting down at a luncheonette, like at a counter, and getting 2 over easy sausage toast and a orange juice, and then opening up the paper and sitting there and having breakfast, man, that was fucking living, man. That was living to me. And I kind of, and I know everyone's like, oh, well, you come from the New York City area, the tri-state area where diners are everywhere. But even when I was going, truck stops, what the hell was Cowboy Kent Rollins saying the other day?
All subs burritos.
All subs burritos. Like going to all these places. I think if we give up on casually going to breakfast last minute, we're doomed.
No.
We're doomed as a society because, and maybe it's because this generation, get off my lawn, has changed it into more of a fancier bottomless mimosa brunch with avocado toast. And, you know, we also put like a pappardelle on there just to like keep people in. So I don't have any animosity towards big tea or anything like that, but that just stuck in my craw for some reason.
No, and I'm with you. This makes me realize how much I miss breakfast. I miss having the opportunity to do something like that kind of on a whim. I just know if I'm going out, not only am I spending as much as I could spend on a meal where it's going to have a little more heft to it, right?
Yeah.
Than the pancakes or the eggs or the bacon. But I'm also going to have the kids playing with the sugar packets and the half and half, and it's going to be stopping. They're still in like morning mode. Getting everyone dressed is a whole deal, or at least with the other meals, they're already dressed. So I'm thinking this from dad mode. Now, when I am away for the weekend, when my wife and I, maybe we go away and then we're with some friends and they said, hey, let's go to breakfast on your way out. That's kind of our way apart.
Yeah.
Delightful.
Isn't that nice?
Absolutely delightful. And large. Even the meals like the Hungry Man, they always have fun names for like
the lumberjack,
the cowboy.
Give me it.
And it's just fun.
Yeah. It's so funny because I do the same thing. If I go to a seafood restaurant, I know you're not a seafood guy. I always look for the Davy Jones locker or the Captain Hook special. And it's usually a fried fish platter. So it's like clam strips and this and all that kind of like I look. And then whenever I go to a diner or any kind of breakfast place, I look for that plate, the Hungry Man plate, the lumberjack special, the Big Mike or whatever the hell it's called after. And that's, I don't know, it just makes me happy thinking about it. And you with the kids, it's a little bit different. I'm out of the woods as far as that's concerned. So I can kind of go and have something without having to worry about them spilling their chocolate milk in a separate cup with the fucking straw and stuff like that. That was awful. But a single kid like tea or a younger guy like tea, and then an older guy like me, I hope that we're going to get to a point in this society where everybody embraces the last minute breakfast.
Bring back breakfast. Bring back beers.
Bring back Barstool breakfast. Get really involved. Yeah, let's go.
I'm wondering if this is all connected. The Gen Z not drinking, because what do you do the morning after you drink?
Soaking up all
you go get breakfast
the night before.
So if you're not drinking, you're not going out to get breakfast the next day.
What the hell is that? Like I also then Ian clips a lot of this stuff, and Una helps out too, and he was talking. They clipped out me talking about why I think kids don't drink. Do you drink as much as you did when you were a kid?
No, because
college and above.
Once you have the first hangovers, that lasts through the weekend into Tuesday, that's when you start paring back. And then I still remember the first morning after I drank hard when my daughter was 1, I said, I am never doing this again.
Really?
So if I do tie one on, it's with stuff that's a lot lower alcohol content than it used to be. I have to drink more, but they're usually, I'm taking some waters with it as well. It's truly, you just don't drink as much. And like you said, you can pop something that's edible that'll get you, feeling good, a lot less work and a lot less money.
I think people had said in the comments, a lot of people again were like, oh, your math is good and all that stuff. But a lot of people are like, kids don't like the taste of alcohol anymore. And I think it goes back to my original point about the $32 cocktail. Fundamentally, no kid likes alcohol. I don't know of anyone who had the experience of the first time I drank whiskey, I threw up, but like every other kid who drinks whiskey, and then I got arrested. Like, that was my first experience really drinking whiskey. And then the second time I drank whiskey, I was like, I don't like this. It's only like, you have to acquire the taste for it. I couldn't have acquired a taste for it if I was paying $32 for a whiskey drink every time I went to the bar. Instead, I was at Jim's Marina Inn looking for, spider hunting on what's just about left in the bar and doing those for like $3 shots. So I think it all comes back to it. But a person also made a pretty good observation. Large kids nowadays, when they go out, I don't think they drink as much because if they do let loose and have like a story and stuff, everyone catches it on their phone.
That's true.
I can't stress enough. I don't think I would have done well in that situation because I kind of swim with the inappropriate. and I would have said and done stuff. Like I have stuff that I hope never gets out that I've done. People and things I've done when I've been drunk, I hope never come to light. And you guys have to deal with it every fucking time you go out. As soon as something goes down, people do this before they call an ambulance.
Yep.
And it's their kid on the other side of the thing. So I'm not jealous of you. I'm not jealous of people who say that they drink, that they don't drink, because it's tough to afford and the stakes are too high. Yeah, like you could ruin somebody's fucking career in a night, and I can't tell you how many times I would have ruined my career while I had a career, not when I was doing dumb kid shit. I'm talking in my 30s. What else you got, Ian?
No, and I was
go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say, this is when you thank God that when we were growing up, Facebook wasn't around, Twitter. Instant Messenger was the only thing we had, and those away messages went away, and it's a dead technology now in general. So I do thank God, and I was talking with KFC earlier about how how comedies have changed. And he goes, yeah, Jim Carrey, who was in the news for a whole other reason.
Right.
No one would want to be Jim Carrey these days because it would be cringe to be the guy with the funny faces and whatever. And I imagine you don't want to be the guy who gets recorded on video because you're too drunk being an asshole and you get, shown it to you. The stories were horrifying enough, right?
Yes.
Seeing it in living color or on your phone, no thank you.
You play the lottery?
Love the lottery.
Have you been playing for a long time?
Yes, I have.
Can I tell you about something?
Please do.
It's called Jackpocket. Are you familiar with it?
Might have dabbled once or twice.
Yeah. Ordering lottery tickets has never been easier thanks to our partners at Jackpocket. Whether you like to order Powerball, Mega Millions, scratch-off tickets, you can order them all on Jackpot Lottery app. Jackpot makes ordering tickets quick, simple, and secure. And here's the best part. If you're new to Jackpocket, they've got a special offer just for you foodies. Download the Jackpocket app. Sign up using the code TRY THIS. You got to try this. And new customers who deposit $5 will get $10 in lottery credits instantly. That's right. Get $10 in credits instantly when you deposit just $5 on Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app. We do a lot of ads. Mm-hmm. You and I have collectively done thousands of ads. God, yes. I would sign up for this in a fucking heartbeat. Does this make a lot of sense? Talk to me about my sponsor.
I signed up for it in a heartbeat through Barstool whenever they first got involved with us because I had never heard of it. Because you know how it is. When you hear that the Mega Millions is at
you see the billboard driving by.
It hits billions. You go, you know what? I think I want to win the lottery now. Yeah. It's $1 billion, or 500 million. And it's snowing outside. Yeah. It's cold. You just kind of like took your shoes off for the day. The kids are doing this, doing that. You can't get out of the house. And the fact that you can just do everything on your phone now, it's a cheat code, man.
Yeah.
It's just the best.
Go pick up your food. Go sit down at a restaurant. I'm telling you, it's always 30% better to sit down and have food where it is cooked. There is no reason for you to go to Bodega to pick up lottery tickets anymore. Mm-hmm. Like the same argument I have for Ian ordering. So he DoorDashes popcorn from the AMC.
Oh,
so he gets the garbage bag full of popcorn for like Sunday NFL day or something like that.
That's an old Jeff D. Lowe move I heard of.
Yeah. And for the most part, like popcorn's not that bad of a thing, but normally everything you get, like get out, go to the restaurant and all that stuff. I say it all the time. I'm saying the exact opposite here. There's no reason to do it anymore. Particularly when it becomes $1 billion jackpot and you're waiting online at the gas station.
And that's like the lines. Don't even get me started on the lines.
So you deposit $5, you get $10. I've never a huge lottery guy. It's made it so I can't not play it. So download the Jackpocket app. Code try this, one word, but try this. Deposit $5, you get $10 in lottery credits instantly. And imagine that $10 hits. Oh my God, you would have to give me some of that.
I was going to say, and if I'm on the episode where you heard this, you got to give me some.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're wetting our beaks as well. Everyone's wetting the collective beaks. Obviously, Ian's taken care of too. Oh God. And the people that are waiting to buy the tickets, they also have other tickets that they're cashing in.
Oh, beep, beep, beep. Yeah. I hear you. What else we got?
So the Hartford Yard Goats, they've unveiled a new food item. And this is like a not new thing, but all ballparks have these novelty food items. This one in particular, since it's close by, I think we have to give a look.
I'm not against it.
It's called the Anti-Hero. I think they're playing on Taylor Swift. It is a grilled 2-foot all-beef hot dog with 11 powdered donuts, which are supposed to be like friendship bracelets, I guess, around this 2-foot hot dog, mustard ketchup drizzle, sweet candied and pink blue sprinkles on an artisan Italian loaf bun.
Ooh, that's a good.
Yeah, and it's on Era's
too.
Night 6-9.
Oh, it's on Era's Night.
So, and it's called the Anti-Hero.
Okay. And the anti-hero means it's against Taylor Swift? Are they going against her? No, I don't know what the anti-hero thing is.
It might be a song.
It's a song.
Oh, okay. I apologize. So we're not going to get a bunch of Swifties come in. They probably like this.
Yes.
Okay, good. Because they could be a rueful
this,
lot.
This food item is almost a tribute to Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay. So let's jump in 2 feet. 2 foot. 6'9". Why don't we go up to Hartford and do this? By the way, it looks like an abomination, right? I mean, it is a full loaf of Italian bread. Somehow it has sprinkles on it. The mustard drizzle or whatever. And like to Ian's point, there's a dozen powdered donuts and threading it is a 2-foot hot dog. Fundamentally, that looks very, very difficult. It looks very, very difficult.
Is that the Travis Kelce part of the thing? Is the 2-foot hot dog?
I don't know.
She wrote that whole song, right? Mr. Redwood or something like that.
Oh, really? And that was about his cock?
Yeah, it was.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm learning a lot about this stuff today.
I've actually been to the stadium before.
Oh, you have? Okay. What do you think?
I don't know if it's still called Duncan Donut Stadium. Best stadium in minor leagues, like 5 years running.
Oh, really?
Absolute great time. Took the kids, had a ball. And they have baby goats in the outfield. So you can go to the little petting zoo or whatever. And there's little baby goats. And then you load up on a 2-foot hot dog with 11 donuts and Italian bread with sprinkles.
Daggins.
Goats. Think about the daggins you're getting out of those guys.
Daggins everywhere. I'd like to go. So I like minor league baseball. When we go down to Daytona every year, Spider and I, the Daytona Tortugas, I become friendly with the guys from there because actually during the pandemic, they had pivoted, like we had said, when there was no sports, they had sectioned off their outfield into, 10-foot square spots. And everyone brought a blanket and they did giant movies on the Jumbotron.
Nice.
So it was like a drive-in movie night, but everyone would separate lines to go up and get their food, socially distant and all that stuff. Masks were involved. I have no fucking clue. And I thought that was kind of brilliant. So I had the guy on when I was doing Mind Your Business. And I just fell in love with everything about minor league baseball. We have the Rockland Boulders not too far from where I am. And I've brought the kids there a couple of times because they're trying. Like Finn goes to Montclair State, which is Yogi Berra Stadium at Montclair State. These kids and the kids playing on the field and the organizations that are behind them are bending over backwards to get people in the door and have a good experience, whether they're petting goats or having 2-foot hot dogs with 11 donuts on it, or, doing whatever the hell they're doing, as opposed to going to Yankee Stadium, where they're like, oh, you want the legend seats? They're $1,500 a piece and you have great food, but everything is like, they just want to, just absolutely put it in your ass every time they get a chance.
And we're at the point now with the stadiums, which were great for years, but we're starting to get back to the point with the baseball games. We're starting to get the fuck do you want back at the concessions.
Like Citi Field was kind of gentler when it opened up.
I love Citi Field.
Yeah. And they have some great food options. To say that major league stadiums don't have some great food options would be doing you a disservice. But man, try some of these minor league places. It's a great trip with the kids. They usually have playgrounds where the kids who lose their interest in baseball and, so they're out there. And it's not necessarily like a Savannah Bananas where the players are doing backflips in the outfield, but like certainly outfielders are shagging fly balls and then throwing to kids all the time in it. It really is a special thing. I think minor league baseball is the way to go. So if you're interested, I would do that. I don't know if I'll reach out to the Hartford Yard Goats?
Hartford Yard Goats.
Hartford Yard. I've seen them before. They have a goat's head cracking a bat, I think, on the thing. Great hats, too.
Great hats.
Yeah.
Great hats. We have them all. We have the hats from when we went. Yeah. We have the Hudson Valley Renegades by us. That's a Yankee farm team. And everyone's super nice. They even got the kids. The first time the kids have ever been on the Jumbotron. They did the little in-between inning games where you have to throw the thing or you do the guess on the big board A, B, or C. Where's the hidden baseball under what hat?
Yeah.
And we won like a trip to Splashdown, which was great. AJ had
Splashdown Beach. I've been there many times.
A+. We get our yearly passes every year from Christmas from St. Nick. And then AJ had one of those big old fresh squeeze lemonades where it's a little bit of fresh squeeze lemonade, some water, and as much sugar as they can pump. Yeah. And you know what he said about it? He goes, whoa, Dad, this tastes like sunshine. That is how you know it went right to the dopamine, and they just were overflowing his brain with sugar dopamine.
I will tell you another perfect day for kids, particularly, as the kids are still young, is I'm driving distance from West Point. And we're in the thing with Con. Today's happens to be West Point's birthday. The military academy was formed on this day, however many years ago. And so we can go up there and do like brunch at the Thayer Hotel, which is a great brunch, but you'd have to give Big T at least 12 hours notice before you go to it. And then if you go to a hockey game, and you bring the kids, after the hockey game, they allow the kids to skate on the ice.
Really?
The players come back out and they'll skate around with the kids. Maybe they do it at every college, and maybe people are like, oh, that's old hat for me. I'd never saw it before till I moved out, to the burbs. And I thought it was just, again, I think it's a fourth on this. Delightful. It's a delightful thing. And it kills so much time with the goddamn kids. It's a great little day. And and you're not paying, Rangers or Devils prices. College hockey's the shit.
Yeah. And so that's the one time I've seen hockey outside of, I went to one Rangers game. I went to the Danbury Hat Tricks, which is minor league hockey, 10 out of 10 as well. And then Army, I always said, this was a lot of fun. It was much
awesome.
And we do the Army football games. That's
Mikey Stadium.
Mikey Stadium. I mean, it's picturesque. That's the word I do to describe. Right on the Hudson River, beautiful stadium. The cadets go down. They do the push-ups. They fire the cannons. They have the touchdowns. Usually, the worst part of going to the Army football game was the Army football. Unfortunately, they've gotten much better lately. Yeah. But you would go and you'd be like, all right, we're going to go for a quarter and a half. Then we're going to go back and eat and drink our faces off for the next 3 hours. So Army tailgate's great with the kids, but the hockey was like a hidden gem, I thought. Yeah. And the fact you've done that, I love. Are you the one that goes, when you go on vacation, you look to see if there are any minor league parks
That's
around?
Exactly what I do.
Because I do the same thing now after you said that.
When my kids were younger, we didn't like to fly with them. I don't like flying with kids. And I wish more people felt that way. So we used to do road trips, and it was kind of special to do road trips with the kids. But if you're going down to Busch Gardens, which is in Virginia, Busch Gardens in Virginia, we would drive down, excuse me, we'd drive down to Busch Gardens. We'd stop off in Baltimore, and we'd go see an Orioles game, and we'd stay the night in Baltimore, go and have like crab cakes or something in Baltimore, get on the road the next day and finish the trip to Busch Gardens. And it breaks up the trip. The kids got to see a game, and they got to stay in a city that they'd never stayed in. And then on the way back up, when we're coming home, we'd stop off in D.C., go see like not even like a minor league team. Like we can go see a Nationals game or something. And then once we did that, then once that worked out so goddamn well, we started doing it with minor league teams. So if we were going out to Hershey, we'd stop off at the Reading Fighting Phils. We paid $100, and Finn threw out the first pitch for $100. I spent another $100, and the five of us, including Finn, we got to hang out in the pool in right field for the whole game and eat free barbecue and all you can have beer and soda. I spent $200 for a family of 5. One of my kids threw out the first pitch, and we all fucking hung out in a pool.
$200 doesn't get you into Yankee Stadium.
$200. Yeah. We stayed in a bed and breakfast in like an old Victorian mansion somewhere in like Reading, where they had like small whippets walking around. It was just kind of cool. And I'm telling you, like my kids now kind of have a feel for how that area is, as opposed to just driving through it or flying over it.
Yeah.
So minor league baseball and collegiate like sports are such a, I don't know, it's such a trick for parents who are planning long road trips. It really does break it up. Anything else that we need to talk about on that?
Yeah, if you're on a long road trip and you're passing a Taco Bell, you might come across some new menu items, some of which I had to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple check that it wasn't AI.
I thought it was. I honestly, like, I thought some of these things were. Do you have some of them?
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring them up.
There was one item in particular. I was like, there's no way that's real. It's someone's making a meme of this.
They had the Milk Bar birthday cake empanadas, the strawberry and cream Mex pizza bites, the edible sauce packets.
That's the one.
That was it.
Yes. The edible sauce packets. So that's what I looked up, and they're real. They look like tiny little Totino's pizza rolls, right? They almost have that. And so you bite the pastry away, and then you squeeze out the sauce packet, or people just eat them as regular snacks. They also have Cool Ranch seasoned nuggets with Cool Ranch sauce. That makes sense. Diablo nuggets. Creme brulee crunch wrap slider. I thought that was fake. A creme brulee. So they put some sort of, their sugar on top of it, and they brulee it. So it's a crunch wrap slider and the birthday cake empanada, and the Mountain Dew Baja Midnight Pie, which looks like it's like, the Baja Blast, but that's the midnight one.
They
so
did
it's
the
even
Baja
more,
Blast one of that.
Yeah, and that's more of an off-putting color. I tell people that I go to Taco Bell every now and again. This is definitely a hit or miss for me. I don't know. Take a look at that. Is there anything like that jumps off the page with you?
This menu, there's a few things I liked. My favorite thing about this in general, I don't know if they did it this year where it was like a year or two, I blogged it. It looked like it was a Apple keynote address where they're introducing the new iPhone.
Right.
But wait, there's more. And then he's going to the big screen and everyone's all buttoned up. And you thinking it's a $1,000 pocket computer, but it's a Baja Blast pie you're getting instead, which I love. I think that kind of stuff. We need fun in this world. Taco Bell still bringing the fun. There's a few things. I messed with the milk bar. I've messed with the
strawberry cream Mex pizza bite.
No, the Cool Ranch nuggets. Yes, they are good. And this was a big Snack Boys thing, as we would do a lot of fast food whenever we could dabble into something that was unique.
Right.
And stuff like that. So I'd be interested in some of those things on Snack Boys.
I just wonder, you think it's gotten to a point now where like an established place like Taco Bell that does a couple of things very good, Crunch Wrap Supremes, those are things that kind of come.
Yep.
Like some of the things there are, good for fast food, for fast Mexican, it's good. It's not like going to Pool Hole in Mexico City for their mole, which me and Ian have done. Flex. But do they need to do this outlandish shit just to keep up with the times? Because I don't believe Taco Bell at this time in 2027 is still going to have a creme brulee crunch wrap slider on the menu. Like, do they need to do this just to have like shocking shit with no intentions of keeping it on the menu anymore?
Just gets the name in the ecosphere, because there's so many times stuff comes out you don't even know. Your eyes are going so many ways this day and age. When something like that goes viral, it'll get, Taco Bell has the creme brulee.
Yeah.
Let's give it a shot. I heard about this. I never saw the Baja Blast pie, but I've known it's a thing for a full year. It never made its way to me, or when it did, I just happened to not be in Taco Bell that day.
But it's a psyop.
Yeah.
Right? This is another fucking psyop. Did we get another psyop and I fell for it? Because I'm going to go and I'm going to have an edible fucking sauce packet.
We should come up with a name for this segment called like the psyop corner or something.
Yeah.
Because that's what the McDonald's guy who took the bite the other day, it's a psyop. He purposely took a small bite because he got more press off of doing that on a cell phone. I mean, that thing whipped around the internet. We spoke about it here too. Like, he had to have done that on purpose because it makes him out to be a little bit of a freak. Everybody knows what McDonald's is, right? We all know what McDonald's is. Fucking McDonald's, right? So I wonder if that's what this is too.
You brought up the edible sauce packet. There's one other item I wanted to call out that's not on that graphic, but also coming out. The Mountain Dew Baja Blast under eye patches.
I sell
really
for if you have don't get enough sleep or whatever.
I could use 2 of them right now.
So could I. Yeah.
11 years and running. Ever since my daughter was born, November 11, 2014. I've needed the Baja Blast eye patches.
Yeah, like that's kitschy, right? Like, and I think that'll bring like kids in.
Yep.
Because Bridge is always doing those like Japanese masks, the tea tree like ones. So maybe that's one just to get to something other than us. We're going to go to the final questions if you're ready. Ian, are you ready?
That's right.
I'm ready.
We just talked about some fast food. I know you're not a big drinker, Clem, so I'm not going to ask you drunk fast food order, but give me your fast food order when you don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're by yourself. You're on the road. You had a long day and you're like, I'm going to destroy myself. Where would you go and what would you order?
I mean, if I really want to destroy myself, I would probably hit a couple places and go with the best, best. So I'm a burger guy from Wendy's. So this is growing up too.
First person we've got is the burger guy from Wendy's. I know you are, but I'm saying that no one brings up Wendy's burgers, hardly ever.
And I'm saying this is a nostalgic pick. I know everything has changed over the years, but the Wendy's burgers in say the 90s to the 2000s, I think were the cream of the crop. So I get myself a Dave's Double from Wendy's. Now the fries, we're going to go to McDonald's. We'll go to McDonald's for the fries there. Nuggets, I guess I would just get myself maybe a 10-piece McDonald's nugget, sweet and sour. And if I'm going to go to Taco Bell to try whatever viral item they have, I'm going to go with the chalupa. I think the chalupa, it's just fun to say, and I think it's their best menu item. I'm going to go chicken, though. I'm not going to go ground beef. If I go to Taco Bell, I go with either the steak or the chicken. I like to upgrade a little bit in terms of
Give me an idea of what a chalupa is.
It is a
deep fried burrito?
Pretty much. It's like a taco though. It's not enclosed like a burrito.
Okay.
So it's that shell where it's like a taco.
Oh, I do know it.
It's fluffier.
I'm sorry. I do know that. Yeah, it's almost like a puffy taco.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I get it. I lost it there for a sec because I was thinking chimichanga because I was a big Chi-Chi's guy.
Oh, I'm a chimichanga fan as well if I'm going to an actual Mexican joint.
By the way, Chi-Chi's, do you remember Chi-Chi's at all?
I've never been, but I remember.
Yeah, it was a little bit before you, I think. I was a Chi-Chi's lover, and the guy who's the son of the guy who sold them all off just bought back like 12 locations. They're going to start opening up Chi-Chi's again. Yeah, so that's good news for me. How do you take your eggs?
Over medium.
Over medium.
So I don't do over light. I don't want it dripping like crazy, but I don't want it. I do want a little bit. I like a little bit of yolk coming out so I could dip some bread in it and do all that kind of stuff.
How do you take your steak?
Medium.
Okay.
And I know there's the medium rare hardos out there. AJ says rare. He asked for my 7-year-old son asks for rare. I go, buddy, we'll work on rare. We'll do medium rare for now.
Right,
pal.
Were you used to be a well done guy and now you worked your way down to medium, or you think are you trending down to medium?
No, always a medium guy. It's just if I want a medium, I do think there are times where you'll get a medium rare. I like it medium.
Steakhouse medium sometimes is medium rare a little bit.
And I can live with that, but I'll just go medium and let my cards. This is my way. This is what I like to say. You know how I like my coffee and my steak? How everyone else does. Because there's nothing you're going to say that's going to change people's minds.
Yeah, that's true.
I could be the biggest pussy in the world in someone's mind because I don't drink my coffee black.
Right.
It's like, what could I tell you, man? I just don't like the taste of coffee like that.
How do you order your pizza plain, or if you do need to put a topping on? I used to ask people, give me a pizza with 5 toppings. I used to say that because it almost would call into account the structural integrity of the pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't ask it anymore. So I ask, if you do have to put toppings on a pizza, what do you do? Or do you normally how would you normally order a pizza?
I mean, I do like you said, I guess we're kind of spoiled, but I'm my town, it's like if it's either a deli, a nail salon, or a pizzeria going up. So we have great pizza. We've always had great pizza. Mm-hmm. A lot of people coming up from the Bronx, and we get a lot of that good bread and stuff there. And if you're going to New Haven, which a lot of people love, you're not really gonna glop it up with toppings. We're not in the Midwest where people are eating all their stuff. If I do have toppings though, and I don't have to worry about the kids who won't eat stuff because it's whatever. If I go pepperoni, I want the
cups.
The cups. Yeah. Yes. Because I love that Prince Street. I love that.
I want that porky oil.
Yes, exactly. Have it dripping a little bit.
Collector.
Maybe a little bit of chicken on there. I mean, if you're going to do if I have to get multiple, just give me the meat lovers and throw a bunch of the different kinds. Yeah, they're made to go together. Those salty flavors.
I find meat lovers works with a lot of the stuff like Ian was saying. It's, this primarily to go places. Right? Because we saw that Domino's that was coming out of the trailer. I'm assuming they move a lot of meat lovers. But if you look at the individual meats on that, sometimes they're not that good. So it's better that they put them all on at one time. What's the greatest snack your mom made for you when you growing up?
Snack.
Like, what was a snack in the household? Like, we used to do mayonnaise on white bread with heavily salted slices of tomato. That was like a huge snack for us.
Well, I mean, a lot of the snacks I think were just the packaged snacks, but I'll tell you, there's some my mom made that as soon as you said it, this is what I thought of. So I'm going to go with this as my answer. She made dirt pails. You ever have dirt pails?
No.
So it's, in this case, it would be chocolate pudding. You get some crumbled cookies at the bottom of it, and you throw some gummy worms in there. So it looks like a dirt pail.
Okay.
And then now she is, she then became sand pails, became a thing. It's vanilla pudding with your Vienna finger kind of cookie there. So it looks like sand. Hello. And then you throw some Swedish fish in there or something like that. And then the newest one was the pool pail, where it was a blue, pudding or something like that. And you have little lifesavers that are the tubes.
Oh, that's cute as hell.
It is a crowd pleaser, 10 out of 10. We'd have parties at the house, graduation parties, everyone blackout drunk for hours. And those come out after a day of drinking, and people are just eating the cups at that point.
It turns the whole thing around. What's the Tim Duncan of foods for you? Not flashy, but it always gets the job done at a very high level.
I think it's the chicken cutlet, the Italian protein bar.
Italian protein bar, yeah.
You throw Tim Duncan in the middle of it, and everything else is going to work. You can put Tim Duncan with a Ginobili and with a Parker. You could put him with a David Robinson and an Avery Johnson. I'm going to throw some basketball knowledge because I do know my stuff. And he's just the big fundamental. That chicken cutlet, you could build a franchise around him, and he's not going to overpower you, but he's going to be there, and he's going to be the meat of your offense, your defense. your building block for anything great you can do.
We were in, I agree with the chicken cutlet is one of my favorite things in the world. We went to a small place in my town, Ridgewood. It's called the Best of Everything. You have to have good stuff if you name yourself the best of everything.
Better,
right?
You're gonna be out of business.
It's
quick.
not like world's best coffee, right? Like it's not that. So I went in there and I had gotten some stuff, and a tray of chicken cutlets had just come out hot. So even though I was getting stuff, I had no intention. I was, they just came out. Can I have 6 of those?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I ate one in the car on the way home. It's just an elite shout out Best of Everything. They do a very good job with everything they do. But
you always got to do that with the bagels too. They have hot bagels. Just give me 3, even if I don't even want the, I'm not in the mood for a cinnamon raisin. Just give me them because I know they're hot.
Or the bakery. You go to bakery and you have bread. When we used to go to bakery, Francis Bakery in Bay Ridge, and I'd be bringing it home. My wife or my mom would be like, do they sell breads that doesn't have the ends ripped off? You know what I mean? And then the answer is no, they do not.
I lived across the street from the bakery for about 2 years. And that was back in, early 20s, mid 20s. And you come back from the bar at 3:30 a.m. You're just getting in. They're just opening. That was dangerous times for me in my life looking back.
Well, Francis used to we used to get up so early to go to work, Annie and I, that you'd go by the bakery again at like 5:30 in the morning as you go into whatever you get your car. And they would just have hot rolls, a big tub of butter with a butter knife next to the coffee machine. So you go in there, you grab a roll, you rip it open, blanc blanc, coffee.
Steam coming out.
And exactly. And like a little bread facial. And I was like, geez, I don't want to go to work today. Every day I didn't want to go to work. What's the most overrated food or drink you're convinced people pretend to like? Like maybe something that you wish you enjoyed, but you simply cannot. To me, it's sometimes when I see people drinking scotch, like Ray Donovan used to take scotch and throw it down and be like, oh, that looks so cool. And I would do it. And it didn't work out quite the way Ray Donovan would do it. Like, is there something that you kind of not convinced of?
You could throw any kind of those boozes out there. I tried to become a hardcore, like a scotch drinker. That didn't last. Even would throw whiskeys down and it just wouldn't last. The thing is, I wouldn't, like, again, not a completely picky eater, but it's like I would never clearly eat sushi. I can't stand the smell.
So you won't
eat,
but you won't
touch it.
Okay, you won't eat sushi.
No, I also had, and this is the thing that I left out of the first story, was I had, when I was young, I got sick after eating tuna fish, and I think I had an egg roll. So shrimp and tuna fish was out, and then from that point on, seafood stopped being a thing. From that moment on, I got sick.
So you're no seafood at all?
No seafood. And when I was growing up, I never had coffee. And when I was, I think, 2008, so I was 26 years old, I went to Seattle and I said, I don't drink coffee or eat fish. And they said, then why the hell are you in Seattle?
Really?
Right? Yeah.
So
but I drink coffee now.
You drink coffee now, but I couldn't convince you to go with me for not something weird like a swordfish steak or a shrimp parm or something like that. It's just something that turns your stomach. And I'm not shitting on you, particularly if you had a bad experience with it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a mental block. It's when someone can't drink. Our boy Trent, I think, can't drink Rumple Mints. Had a bad experience. You bring out the Rumple Mints or another kind of liquor, and everyone's like, had the bad night. Say no more. We're not going to make you do it. It's just been a mental block with seafood from moving on, which I've learned isn't rare. There's plenty of people.
A lot of people. Yeah.
I'm not saying 90%, but there's like a good 10% of us. And it's always good to know, like, we're in this together, right? We're not.
You ever had caviar?
Seafood. Nope.
Okay.
And this is the thing. If you took me to the place and it's the best lobster or the best, like you said, this kind of a fish steak on earth, I'd have to have a long conversation with myself. Okay. If Portnoy wheeled it out and I'm out with the boss, be like, might have to give this a shot.
Right. Okay. There. So you don't have like a curiosity to it, to try something or to kind of branch out?
No, it is also like I could, on my final resting day before I pass, it's like, really should have done this looking back. Is what it is.
Is there a meal you'd be embarrassed for people to know you eat regularly? Like, what's the thing? Every now and again when I'm cleaning off the table and I kind of scrape stuff into the garbage, I'm not embarrassed to say I reach in and I grab something. There it is. Blah, blah, blah.
My son's been picking stuff out of the garbage, not to eat, but like, don't throw this toy away. I'm like, bro, we are not garbage pickers. Sounds like you might be a garbage picker.
I am.
Nothing embarrassed. I will say this. This was a low moment for me though. One time I had like a half of a cake left over, dropped, landed on its frosted side. Ooh. And I was like, motherfucker. I looked around, took a fork and I took the top of the cake that wasn't on the floor, took a couple bites, and I said, we need to go on a diet here. That was like the welcome.
Look around for cameras. Yeah, no, I hear you. What meal do you wish you can get back? Either the place doesn't exist, the person doesn't exist, or your taste buds have changed so much that you just will never get it back.
If I may, you were talking about GrubHouse earlier.
Yeah.
You were talking about Mincy earlier. You can't get this meal back with Mincy. The Gumbo Bros in New York City, where he took you to a Cajun place in your own hometown of Brooklyn.
Went out? It went out?
Out of business.
Is it gone? Shout out.
I have two answers for you. I have a breakfast and a lunch, and it's both delis that went out. High Grade Market, right at Croton Falls train station, went out during COVID. Place you'd every morning, community would be there. You'd know that you're on, you and the cashier would, know each other and whatever. Best bacon, egg, and cheese I ever had. There was just something about that grill. It was just magic. The way they cooked the bacon, it's just the way I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this is gospel. And then there was a deli called the Grand Central Deli in my town. They made a chicken supreme, which is kind of the big, I love that it's become kind of a standard for the 6-foot subs now, is they had chicken cutlet, fresh mozz, roasted red peppers, and the balsamic, and they had it on a ciabatta bread. And the bread obviously made all the difference. And it was the best thing. And then just one day, it went out of business. There was no closing soon. And and it was gone. And a pizza place has gone in there, very good pizza place. And they even say the Grand Central Chicken Supreme, it was called the Chicken Supreme. They named it that as they have the sandwich. So it's still there in spirit, but it's not the same. It's a different bread, and it's not the same because it's not the same people making it. So those two things, they're gone forever. And I didn't get to say goodbye to either. And that's what pisses me off. I didn't get to say goodbye.
And were you friendly with the owner to the point where you were like, you don't want to give me a heads up? My dry cleaner did that to me.
Mm-hmm.
My dry cleaner had a lot of like stuff going on, people in there every now and again when I would drop stuff off. And, working where I am now, I don't go to dry cleaners that often. I used to go to dry cleaners once a week, right?
Yep.
So it's more like, I don't know, once every 3 weeks now. And so I dropped my dry cleaning off. And then when I went to go pick it up, I picked it up from a different managers, like my dry cleaner who I used to shoot the shit with.
Yep.
He did it in the dead of night. He didn't tell me. He didn't do anything. I wonder if he lost it on a marker or something. Like, some sort of thing.
The guy at Grand Central with the chicken, I probably hadn't been in a month or so.
Okay.
Because, it's like, if you're going to eat that sandwich, you're like, this is going to be, it puts you to sleep kind of a thing. The bacon, egg, and cheese, the place you could tell wasn't doing well. This was right during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was about to raise to Dave, hey, maybe this could be a Barstool Fund kind of place.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time I actually went to the city, I was going to the train to come to the city, and Dave was going to be in that day because that's something I want to do face to face and talking about. As I go to the train, close.
It's gone. Yeah. Let's talk about then a positive. What's one restaurant anywhere in the world that you would recommend for me to go to? Me, knowing that I'm an asshole.
Well, because you're an asshole.
Yep.
I've been trying to get you to this place for literally years.
Oh, the burger.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
This is going back towards. This has been, you're still probably a baby at Barstool. And I've been dying to take you to a local joint. It's my favorite place for burgers, my favorite place for fries, my favorite place for wings. I realize saying one of those things is a bold move for someone with my kind of stature.
What's the name of the place?
The name is the Blazer Pub in Purdy's, New York.
That's right.
It's an old Irish place. The O'Leary family, I believe, owns it. It's right off of 684 there, right on
440 Route 22.
Yes.
The Blazer Pub.
I'm telling you, Large, I'll put their burger up against anybody. I'll put their fries up against anybody. I'll put their wings up against anybody. I'm not a clam chowder guy. I know their chowder is elite. I'm not going to say it's the best clam chowder. They have a bunch of other stuff on there. They have Rubens on there, as you can see. They have a bunch of different things. They have a great chili. They have things that people will say is the best that I'm not even saying. Burgers, fries, and wings. Those are like, I wouldn't say the big three, but it's say maybe the top 5 in terms of like a fun, greasy spoon kind of place, right? You want to throw pizza on there as well. And that's my go-to for all 3: burgers, fries, and wings. They have the best. The signature wings are what you got to get. They do the double fry.
I'm seeing the signature wings. They also have something called a Cape Cod Reuben. I don't know what a Cape Cod Reuben is compared to a regular Reuben, but I am going to find out. And it looks like they do fries that are a little bit more like steak cut.
Yep, they're big. It's like basically they're taking the potatoes, they're cutting them themselves, and the oil is just different. The meat is just a different flavor meat. It's
we go when I shaved your balls? Wasn't it closed for something?
Yeah, it was like the timing just didn't work out. And I said, I will not go on this podcast until you come to the Blazer. And I said, in fact, let's shoot this podcast
at the Blazer when I first started this podcast. Yes. When we were first starting. That's right. Yeah.
And then
I got to go to the Blazer.
Our buddy Joe Lightning said,
Joey Lightning.
Because I call him, for the people that don't know, he was my first friend I've ever had in my life. My best friend. We call him Joe Lightning because he's always in last place in Mario Kart, so we'd always have lightning. So he became known as Joe Lightning in college. And you've bumped into him on vacation multiple times. He's a huge, large guy. I think he followed you back when you used to blog.
Yeah, he knew me from Take a Report, and then I was in. Talk about different places. I was in like Baha Mar in Bahamas.
Yes.
And Joe Lightning was in the same place as I was. We were staying in the same exact hotel.
And you didn't publicize you were going there.
No, not at all. I showed up and all of a sudden it was at a restaurant. He's like, Large? I'm like, Joe Lightning? And then, but his family, I think, were leaving probably the day after my family had gotten there. And our kids don't like, aren't
different ages.
Yeah. So it wasn't like we would be hanging out as a family. And then, so I went from Bahamas. Then I went camping in Roscoe, New York, at Roscoe Campground. I went glamping. Remember I told you I had like all that fancy stuff?
Not a tropical paradise.
No, it was right. Yeah, so it's right by the Roscoe. By the way, shout out Roscoe Campgrounds. You guys want to have a camping thing where you're not going to, I don't know, get poison ivy and be fucking miserable, because I've been on a lot of that.
You go tubing with the kids, you just send them out for hours.
God damn me. And there's a couple of great restaurants in and around there. But I show up, the campsite next to us is loud. The dog comes over to mine. Their dog came over to mine right away. So the dad comes over to grab his dog, and it's fucking Joey Lightning, your best friend growing up, which is kind of weird. Yeah, so I love Joe Lightning.
And he's been getting me. Tell Large, I can get you to the Blazer. Let's get you to the Blazer.
Oh, he knows the guy?
Is he going to do it? I think he might have even talked to the owners. And I said, man, what I would love to get maybe the Blazer on Barstool. Because it's one of those things that if you're a local, where are we going tonight? We're going to the Blazer. Okay. Like dinner is a 10. We know that it's going to be fantastic, but I want the rest of it's kind of like my next Stew Leonard. It's my little local place that I love and everyone
this place
loves.
over.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I might be fucking myself over.
Give me the owner's DM and I'll creep in there. And this is going to be my last. I appreciate you staying on for the whole episode, by the way, but this is going to be my last question for you, Clem. Death row meal. When you finally kill your wife in her sleep, what will you have that last day before you're put to death?
So I did this on the dog walk. We had a death row meal draft, and you had to pick, I think, like an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, and I went crazy with it. I picked a wedding cake. Just like the platform ones, you know?
Francis ate it as desk.
Yes, exactly. So you're just being absurd with it. McDonald's fries. I think I would probably just take like some of my favorite foods from different spots. I wouldn't just go with like, if I had to just do one, mom's spaghetti and meatballs. Like that.
That's it?
My dish.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll just go with that.
No, you can do whatever you want. But I was going to ask you, what's the favorite thing your mom made? Sometimes that would be something that comes back to you. But your mom's spaghetti and meatballs, I want to have too.
And again, Irish mutt, but I think she might use my Sicilian she's not gonna. I don't know if she's gonna listen to this. I'll say my dad's spaghetti. They're probably better. My dad's spaghetti because he's the Sicilian of the family. Obviously. Yeah, he's the Sicilian of the family. So he does it great. But then if I had to do something on my own, I take some General Tso's from my place, Golden House, which is my favorite Chinese spot locally. Probably still do put the spaghetti and meatballs on there. Maybe my favorite pizza from my place, Prado, and again, Blazer, burger fries, and the wings.
What's the one dessert? Would it be?
It would probably be the s'mores pie from Hoodoo Brown. And you know what? This is death row, right?
Death row.
I'm going to get that fucking steak that Mincy gave from us, the prime rib.
Finally try the prime rib. It took a double homicide and 6 years in court before they finally put you to death for you to finally get some of the prime rib.
Yeah, that's also an answer for a meal you can't get back.
It's really that's a meal you can never get it back. Well played, Ian. All right, so I want to thank Clem, obviously, for coming in. If you want to see more of Clem, he has a bigger following than mine, so you probably already know him. But just know, My Mom's Basement drops every week. As soon as, are you in the thick of it? Like, what are you doing now weekly? sports wise?
Well, we got to believe it'll come out, and we'll probably start like right before opening day for the Mets. So
during spring trading, kind of. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like we don't know or care enough right now. It's just you don't know what's going on with baseball. So that my mom's basement and just random stuff on the blog. The dozen comes out whenever we're on. Whenever Jeff can muster up the courage to ask Dave, "Are you free for an hour?"
Oh, that must be the best for you guys because. Oh, no, it's not. It must be the worst because you have to do whatever time you can do.
Pretty much. And I have my daughter has like a speech for like about her hero who she made sure to tell me it's my father, not her father. My father is her hero.
Your dad, I get that
great delight in telling me that. So I was like, Jeff, I cannot do this date between 2 and 4. And I think he was kind of like, all right, Clem, whatever. If Dave says it, you're gone. I will be, I guess I'll be playing from my phone in the audience like a schmuck because I'm scared. Again, don't want to get on the radar.
Yeah, exactly. Clem, it was an absolute pleasure. I'd love to have you back as always. It's an open door policy. Hopefully next time you come back, I will already have gone to the Blazer and that's it. You listen, I had mentioned at the top of the show, liking, subscribing, leaving questions, all that stuff helps us out tremendously, and we'll continue to do this thing. Make sure you check us out on socials because we have a couple of bangers coming out, including the beefsteak dinner. And then I had that great experience at Chris's Red Hots just last week. So that's it for us for You Got to Try This. Everybody have a very happy St. Patrick's Day, or I hope you had a very happy St. Patrick's Day as we're rolling into spring, and we'll see you guys next week.